And one song will inspire your little beauty to break up with that beast she's dating, Brian. Instead, she'll date someone who's nice and worthy of her love, not someone who addresses you and your spouse as bro. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Good morning, Doctor.
Doctor?
Hi, Doctor.
Doctor?
Dr. Jackson's practice is growing.
What do you mean we're still short-staffed?
He needs a good patient doctor.
How do we not have enough doctors to doctor all these patients?
And he doesn't have the patience to sift through hundreds of resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, Frank, looks like business is booming. What are all those tabs you have open on your computer?
Oh, hey. Well, this one is for my SEO company. This one is for my website company. This one is for my CRM. This is for invoicing and estimates. This one does email. And this one does billing.
Geez, that sounds tricky to manage.
It's clunky, but I need all this to run my business. Wait, you run your own business, and you're even busier than I am. Don't you have all this stuff, too?
I do, but I get it all on one screen with the Town Square Business Management Platform.
What's that?
The Town Square Business Management Platform is an all-in-one tool that helps me grow and run my business. It combines website, billing, and scheduling into one program.
That sounds simpler than juggling all the tools I have now, but you still need someone else to help you find new business, right?
Nope. They have powerful digital advertising built into the platform as well, which helps me keep my calendar full. You can get a demo of the product for free. Check out their website. See if it makes sense for your business.
Go to townsquarelocal.com for a free demo of the Town Square Business Management Platform. Visit townsquarelocal.com. That's townsquarelocal.com.
Your business needs a network it can count on. Comcast Business has you covered with Wi-Fi backup to help keep your business up and running, even when your power goes out.
Everybody in the warehouse good?
Lights are out, but the Wi-Fi's up. Let's power on.
It's from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
Break room, you good?
Can't microwave my burrito, but Wi-Fi's fine. Let's power on.
Power on with the leader in connectivity, Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Keep your business connected with Comcast Business Internet and Wi-Fi backup, or get started with reliable internet for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get up to a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call or go online today. Ends 11/17/24. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 150 megabit per second internet. EcoBill and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change.
Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you watch a movie and then ask a zillion questions because you weren't paying attention? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. At Mattress Firm's Black Friday sale, get a king for the price of a queen and a free adjustable base with select Sealy beds, all with a low price guarantee. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards concert tickets for your daughter to see that singer who sings about painful breakups. And one song will inspire your little beauty to break up with that beast she's dating, Brian. Instead, she'll date someone who's nice and worthy of her love, not someone who addresses you and your spouse as bro. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Warm up your holidays with JCPenney. From snuggly soft women's sweaters just $19.99 to festive family PJs now 40% off. Get ready for winter with all the comfy, feel-good layers you love. Wrap yourself in a warm foam ink throw, only $24.99. It's more cozy, bigger savings for you. JCPenney. Make it count. Offers valid on select styles through 11/21. Deals excluded from coupons. See store or jcp.com for details.
Healthier starts here with Get Covered New Jersey. Get quality, affordable health coverage. 9 in 10 get financial help to lower costs, and many pay $10 a month or less. Enroll at getcovered.nj.gov.
Home of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Thank God I'm a girl!
Sixers.
Bang! It's good! Ball game!
And Flyers.
Just in front of the net!
97.3 ESPN. WENJ. WENJ HD. Millville, Atlantic City. A Town Square media station serving all of South Jersey.
Isn't it about time for somebody's favorite radio program? Yeah.
97.3 ESPN presents The Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
When I'm driving, I got a guy on the radio who talks to me. I can't see him, but he talks to me.
Now, live From inside the Ocean Casino Resort Studio, here's Mike Gill.
Like, if the Eagles win, you're in the driver's seat for
Yes.
the NFC East. They got an 81% chance of winning the division. If they lose, it'll drive you to drink because Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders will probably win the division, and that's going to be the norm for the next decade plus.
That was Chris Canty this morning on Unsportsmanlike on 97.3 ESPN. This is the Sports Bash live on 97.3 ESPN. I'm Mike Gill. My on-site producer is Pete G, and Josh Henning is producing today's show. You out there, that is how important this game is. Those are the stakes for the game tonight, says Chris Canty. Think about that. Who would have thought we'd be living in a world where the Washington Commanders could be on top of the NFC East this late in the year and for the foreseeable future? You know, no team has won back-to-back NFC East since 2004. The Eagles were the last team to do it, and it's going to happen again. Washington or Philadelphia will win the division. Last year it was the Dallas Cowboys, so it will be another season in which somebody wins the NFC East, and it won't be the Dallas Cowboys. Who will it be, the Eagles or the Commanders? We get that answer. Most likely we get a lot closer to that answer starting tonight. 609-403-0973. First place at stake. It feels good to have a game like a primetime game against Washington. Sometimes you have these Washington primetime games. They had one on a Monday night a couple of years ago, if you guys remember, and the Eagles lost that game. It was their first loss. It was an ugly loss, and it didn't mean anything for Washington. It meant something for Philadelphia. The Eagles ended up going to the Super Bowl that year. Well, now you get another primetime game between the Eagles and the Commanders. But this one, boys, has a little mustard on it. This one has a little bit extra as the Commanders are looking. You know, this will be the first time, if they win tonight, they would have 8 wins for the first time this early in the season, 8-3. Since 1996. My gosh, I was still in West Virginia, and the Commanders were a different team name back then. I mean, that's how much has changed.
they were the Redskins back then.
That's what they were back then. That's how much has changed. So let's get into it, boys. What are we all feeling about tonight? Everybody out there listening, 609-403-0973. Ross Tucker was on the show yesterday from the Ross Tucker podcast, and he'll call the game tonight nationally for Westwood One Radio. And we'll get to some of his thoughts on the Washington side coming up. Also, Anthony Armstrong is the outside view today, former Washington wide receiver. He'll join us at 3:30. John McMullen with all the injury updates and all the particulars, getting thoughts on the game. Sal Paolantonio at 5:30 tonight will give us a live report from Lincoln Financial Field. And, of course, one thought, every game, Casey Joyner with all the matchups to watch in this one, football at 4. But what's the biggest question for everybody out there listening today? Your biggest question for the game tonight, 609-403-0973, 609-403-0973. What is your biggest concern or question for the game tonight? I'll start to take a look at the text board, and we will kind of answer them throughout the day today. Dan Orlovsky brings it out this way. Look, Philadelphia is a 4-point favorite in the game. We are at Chickies and Pete's in Atlantic City at the Tropicana, the official sports bar of the Philadelphia Eagles. And I would imagine come kickoff tonight, Eagles, Commanders, they're going to have a pretty good crowd in here tonight, plus the Flyers play at 7 o'clock as well. By the way, those looking for the Flyers tonight, that will be on our sister station, Rock 104.1. It looks like, by the way, some breaking news, Devontae Smith will play tonight. He was limited this week with a hamstring. They did not practice, so those were all estimations, but he will be limited, or he was limited, but he will play tonight. Brian Robinson Jr., and we're going to get into his importance in this game. He will play tonight. He was a full participant in practice for the Commanders, and that's a big, big deal, and we'll tell you why coming up throughout the day today. Brian Robinson Jr. and what he does so well that the Eagles are going to have to figure out what to do with him, and we'll get into that. Dan Orlovsky, though, the Eagles are a 4-point favorite in the game tonight. That's where the line has kind of been moving back and forth. Dan Orlovsky, though, says, look, This is a step up in competition. And he says something here that I think is very interesting that we'll talk about. But here's what Orlovsky says, that Washington and Philadelphia, this is the best team that Washington has faced.
This is probably the top to bottom most complete team that Washington has faced this year. This is the real kind of like measuring stick. We saw them versus Pittsburgh last week. They played well, had the chance to win the game. Philadelphia is a better offense than Pittsburgh. Philadelphia is probably equally, if not better, on defense as well with how good. And you know what's going to be awesome tonight? McLaurin versus Quinyon Mitchell. Because McLaurin is just going to line up on the left side the whole game. The whole time. It's going to be a phenomenal matchup.
All right, couple things. The Mitchell-McLaurin matchup, we're going to dive deeper into that. John McMullen a little bit later on in the show. Anthony Armstrong, I want to get his thoughts on that. But did you guys get the takeaway that I got the takeaway from? He says this is the best team that Washington has played, top to bottom. They played Pittsburgh last week, and he said Philadelphia's got a better offense. He also said their defense is as good, if not better, than Pittsburgh. Do we all agree on that? That's number one. Number two, you know, Washington did play Baltimore this year, and it sounds like Orlovsky was like, this is the best team. Is Philadelphia better than Baltimore? Your thoughts?
My initial reaction is I don't think the Eagles' defense on paper is better than the Steelers, but I think statistically you could make the argument. I think if you go by just off of the Eagles' total yards allowed, points per game, you know, they're in the conversation. I do think it's interesting that, as you mentioned, Mike, they did play the Ravens, and the Ravens, I think most people would think is a better offense than Philadelphia outside of Philadelphia's last 5 games.
I'm not here to debate whether they're a better defense than Pittsburgh. I'm not sure if they are or not. I mean, T.J. Watt, the Eagles don't have a T.J. Watt. That's for certain.
Not at all.
I think Pittsburgh probably has better personnel on all 3 levels. I mean, that's not to disparage anything from the way that Zach Bond has played or Quinyon Mitchell. I just think as units, I think secondary probably, they're close.
What about as a unit as a whole? Defensive unit playing together.
I think I like Pittsburgh's defense better than Philly's, but I mean, he didn't say they were better. He said they're equal to, if not better. I don't know about that, but they're close. But what about Baltimore? Do we think he says this is the best team Washington has played all season? Philadelphia, top to bottom, the best team that they've played all season.
I would still go Baltimore.
I think Baltimore's probably got a better offense, but the Eagles' defense is definitely better than Baltimore's.
That's another big key. You're right about that. I think Philadelphia's defense is better than Baltimore's defense.
This is the toughest environment for Jaden Daniels, I would say, this season.
That's a good point, too. This is the first time. This is the first time Jaden Daniels is going to have to play on the road in the division. It's a primetime game. This is the biggest
hostile
situation.
Yeah.
And you're right, because he hasn't played well the last 2 weeks. You know, he has not had a signature moment. Like, if he was looking for MVP moments, they didn't happen the last 2 weeks. If he's trying to stay in that MVP race, and look, that's not what this is about, winning the MVP. Obviously, he wants to win a Super Bowl. The Washington Commanders want to get to the playoffs, something they haven't done. When was the last time they made the playoffs?
2020.
I was going to say 2000.
When was the last time both Philly and Washington made the playoffs together?
I would imagine 2020, right?
Well, Philly didn't make the playoffs in 2020.
No.
That was a Taylor Heineke versus Tom Brady and the Bucs in the postseason year.
There you go. Yeah, Washington made the playoffs in 2020. I don't know when the last time they both made the playoffs, but it's been a while for a game that these two have been there. Dan Orlovsky, what do you want to see from the Eagles in this Thursday night football game?
The Eagles have scored 30 points on 24 first-quarter drives. The only team that's worse than the NFL this year, the Chicago Bears. I want to see how the Philadelphia Eagles start this football game tonight and see if they can jump on top of the Washington Commanders.
Early starts, it's something that was questioned for the first 7-8 games of the season. The Eagles could not score, and their defense was keeping them in the games. Can they get the early start against this Washington team? You know, Washington's defense, we're talking about Philly versus Pittsburgh. Those are two good defenses. Washington, that's where they struggle. They are not a good defensive team through any metric. This is not a good secondary. I think the Eagles can get big plays on them. The Eagles also, and we're going to talk about this later with Sal Palantonio and some others. Tim McManus, did you guys see the story he wrote over at ESPN.com about this closed-door meeting that the Eagles offensive line had with Nick Sirianni. And it's one of the reasons why the Eagles really, really like Nick Sirianni. And it really maps out this meeting that they had with Sirianni and how open he was to things. And the offensive lineman, it was Jordan Mailata, Lane Johnson, and Landon Dickerson. They went to Coach Sirianni and expressed how they have to change the way they think. Kind of what I've been saying, the offensive line is the star of this team. And it's almost like the Eagles' offensive line agreed with me and said, Coach, we got good receivers. We have Saquon Barkley, but you have us. Use us. And one of the pieces, parts of the piece was from Jalen Hurts saying it was the most productive bye week that he's ever had since entering the league. That Sirianni listened to their thoughts and gave some, some ideas and thoughts as well, but did not push back and did not, fight them on it. And you see a team now that has really altered the way that they look. They are going to run the ball. What was the stat we talked about yesterday, Josh, that you threw my way, which was they have the 6th most total yards in the league, and they run the football more than anybody else in football. So they have proven that you can be a big play offense on the ground.
Yeah, so the stat was that the Eagles are 6th in the NFL in total yards, but they've thrown the fewest passes in the NFL.
Thrown the fewest passes in the NFL. Not run the ball the most. Have they run the ball the most? They've thrown the fewest passes, but have they rushed the most?
I can pull that. By the way, the last time the Eagles and Washington both made the postseason the same year, Mike Gill, was 1992. What were you doing?
Wow. Oh, wow. 1992. Was that a Buddy Ryan team?
That's
Rich
Mark
Kotite.
Rippon. That's Mark Rippon.
Rich
I know that.
Kotite is the coach of that team. 1992 is the last time Washington and Philly
Joe Gibbs
were in the playoff field together.
Eagles have the
Holy
second most rushing yards this year.
Most rushing yards or attempts?
Yards.
What about attempts?
Attempts, they have the most rush attempts. But I'm assuming part of that is because all the tush pushes.
What's the one thing Washington can't afford to let happen tonight, Dan Orlovsky?
If you put him by himself and you line, I don't care who the corner is, one-on-one, Philadelphia's going to take their shot deep. And I know Russell Wilson's thrown the ball incredibly well deep this year. So is Jalen Hurts, okay? He's just going to run a go route. And if you're going to give them the opportunity to consistently take those shots, they're going to do it tonight. I don't think Washington can just line up with the corner, whether press or deep, and think that you're going to stop that connection. Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown.
You know, I can remember games the last couple of years. St. Juste is the corner there. He's not very good, where A.J. Brown has just toyed with this poor guy.
Yeah.
Their secondary is not good, and I agree with what Orlovsky's saying here. I think the Eagles can demoralize this team on the ground and then really take their soul over the top. That, to me, is one big, huge advantage in this game, is that the Eagles can get you both ways. They can stick with the run and demoralize you, or they can stick with the run and then really take your soul by going over the top.
And then remember, folks, the reason why Mike is saying that specific phrase is because that's what Darius Slay said on his podcast, that the Eagles want to steal people's souls. They don't want to beat people.
That had to do with how aggressive they are on fourth down.
Right,
they don't, quote-unquote, take the points.
Are you going to take the points tonight?
It's going to be interesting to see if you're going to have that situation. 4th down and 3, ball at the 22-yard line. What does Nick Sirianni do in that moment? What does he do? 609-403-0973.
I think
Josh,
early on, you got to take the points. First half, you got to take the points.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, we got text, Mike. You ready for him?
Yeah, what do we got? What is the biggest question or concern about tonight's game?
Texter chimes in, says, Mike, after the they didn't leave their name, by the way, but they said they're a loyal listener. So thanks, anonymous loyal listener. But he says, Mike, after the Dallas win, you coined the line, no decision-making Sirianni. It's spot on. He says, if they lose tonight, it's 100% on Sirianni's shoulders and the messaging.
What do you mean by the messaging?
I'm assuming he means about the Sirianni and the decision-making, that if they lose tonight, it's all on Sirianni.
Well, we'll have to see how the game goes. I mean, if it comes down to a decision, of course we're going to look at that decision. But that guy's going to blame Sirianni. He's not going to blame the players for not executing.
Yeah. Now, someone who did leave their name is BC in Bowers Beach on the text board.
BC!
He says, my biggest concern is one guy, Terry McLaurin.
See,
Scary Terry.
I don't worry about McLaurin as much when I have Quinyon Mitchell. Mitchell is supposed to ease us a little bit. He's supposed to calm us down in that matchup, right?
Well, I mean, the way he's played this year, he has not been an issue at all the entire year, and he's faced plenty of good receivers.
That's the matchup of the year. I mean, not the year. That's the matchup of the night, I should say, because McLaurin's not like he's the best receiver in football.
No, but he has been a thorn in the Eagles' side for years.
But McLaurin doesn't really have those games where he goes off for 8 catches, 147 yards, and a touchdown.
He's having a good year, though.
He's having a good
touchdowns. Yeah, I mean, but I have Quinyon Mitchell, so I feel okay. It's like, okay, you have McLaurin. He's awesome. I've got Mitchell. He's awesome. You heard what Orlovsky said. They're going to line him up on the left side all night long, and he's going to be playing Quinyon Mitchell. And let's watch it happen. Let's see how much this kid – watch. We watched a kid last night in Jared McCain, a rookie. He was the only guy that showed up last night.
Ain't that the truth?
He's the only guy that showed up for this team the last couple of nights. So I have faith that Quinyon Mitchell will – also a rookie, show up for the game tonight and not be afraid of this moment. He has shown no indication that the moment's too big for him. So I look at their best offensive weapon and I say, we've got a defensive guy who's right there with you, buddy. So you're going to have to find a complimentary player to step up. Go ahead.
By the way, Terry McLaurin has 400-plus yard games against the Eagles in his career.
Yeah, he's got like 856 yards receiving, 10 touchdowns. I saw the numbers earlier this week. He's very good, McLaurin. I said yesterday, he's not like, the A.J. Brown, Justin Jefferson, that level CD Lamb.
That's why I said he's more of a thorn than he's like the best receiver in football.
I put him on that next tier. He's like he's
a possession guy. He's a big-time third-down catch guy.
Yeah, big after-the-yard catch guy. Jason and Kate May, Mike chimes in at 609-403-0973. Jason says, my biggest question is offensive play calling and Sirianni game management. I feel like that's the biggest question every week, though, for the Eagles.
Was it a question last week?
Hey, Jason, text back in. Let us know. Was that a question last week or not?
I mean, we heard nothing about Sirianni last week. We can't just conveniently go to Sirianni
every time
when it fits our narrative. He's either a part of why they're good or you got to stop. You got to quit with the Sirianni. He's 41-19. You sound like a boob.
Well, I hate to let you know, but there are more boobs on the text board, Mike, at 609-403-0973, because Joey K. May Courthouse says, my biggest concern, and only concern, he says, is Nick Sirianni getting too hyped and his own head making stupid decisions and leaving points on the field.
I'm not liking this vitriol for Sirianni early on.
I feel like it is just such an uneducated, uninformed opinion. It's like I can't understand how everything always goes to the coach. There's 11 guys on the field that actually play the game that we should look at sometimes. And you, as a fan, should want your coach to have trust in his players. It's like we always want to baby these guys. Oh, they're not good enough. You got to take the points. Hey, listen. If you want to be the best version of yourself, sometimes you have to be confident in your team and the guys you have. And constantly blaming the coach is just such a cop-out. Like, I can't stand it. I cannot stand the you can't be 41-19 in this league.
He's 7
and suck at your
yeah,
job.
I mean,
it just makes no. How are you in this league? In this league, it's unfathomable to blame someone when you are 41-19 in your career and say that's the biggest problem. This guy has been here for all incarnations of this team. It's like they've had different looks, they've had different personnel, they've had different coaches. And the one constant is Sirianni. So you got to come up with something better than that. You guys are better than that. You can expand your minds to more than Nick Sirianni being the biggest concern or issue for this team.
Well, Cole from LBI is a counterpoint for you, Mike. Cole from LBI says, hey, Mike, I'm not saying Sirianni is a bad coach. I know the players respect him. But I want to ask you, he says, has Sirianni been carried by the O-line and Jeff Stoutland? If Sirianni was the Jets head coach or the Eagles head coach, what would his record be?
I mean, I don't know how we're supposed to answer that. Is Bill Belichick a great coach, or was he carried by Tom Brady?
I think it's probably half and half.
I mean, I think everybody thinks
probably more Brady.
I think a lot of people think right now if Bill Belichick was the coach of this team, that they would be better, right? I think that's the consensus is Sirianni sucks, and if Belichick was the coach of this team, they'd be better.
How
was Belichick?
They're 7-2. What are you looking for? 9-0.
How was Belichick when Brady left?
He made one playoff appearance in the rest of his time.
He's now on TV.
So to Cole's point, he's Sirianni's not a jackass. He said, I have a great offensive line. Let's use it. Or his offensive line said to him, hey, guys, hey, coach, we think we can help out. And he didn't say, guys, get out of my office. You know what he did? He said, you know what, guys, thanks for the insight. Let's go. Let's go that route. That's what a good head coach does. We act like these guys make every play. Like they're the freaking guy with the joystick playing John Madden football and that they're the person who makes every decision.
Right. Exactly.
Like sometimes they call the play and we say, Sirianni doesn't call the plays, and then people knock him for that. I don't know.
I do have 2 non-Sirianni texts on the text board at 609-403-0973. Beck from Absecon. He says, Cooper DeJean is getting a pick tonight. Let's go Birds.
See, that's what I'm looking for. The positivity, that's what I'm looking for.
I can see that happening. You know why? Because I think, Daniels is going to try to rely on guys like Ertz, Luke McCaffrey, and you look at, the safe play sometimes.
Eckler.
Yep, Eckler out of the backfield. Brian Robinson, though, I think, and we're going to talk more about him a little bit later. Harry Douglas from Freddie and Harry on 97.3 ESPN. He questions the Washington defense and their ability to stop this man.
We know the Washington Commanders, they're 28th in stopping the run right now. That's not good. Can you win the line of scrimmage versus the offensive line of Philly? Can you dictate what you want to happen versus the Philadelphia Eagles dictating to you what they're going to do?
28th in rushing defense. They are not good against the run. Now, one of the reasons why they're 28th in rushing is Washington plays with the lead a lot. Teams have to pass against them a lot. But guess what? They're not good against the pass either. I think Philadelphia should dominate in the run game, though. I think they should have a big night in the run game.
I will say, because you're right, a lot of teams are passing against it, but the yards per attempt is one of the worst in the NFL, rushing yards per attempt, not just rushing total yards, because they're allowing almost 5 yards per attempt against them. That's 29th in the NFL.
Listen, I don't – if I was to ask everybody who's the best player on the Washington defense, like usually each week you have a guy that you're like, they got that guy. He's pretty good. You're going to have to deal with him. You play against Cincinnati. They got Hendrickson. Okay,
right.
We got to figure out a way to block him. The Giants have a couple of guys that you have to – their defense has a couple of guys. Who's Washington's guy that, you're like, man, they got to figure out what to do with him?
I mean, do you still feel that way about Bobby Wagner?
I was going to say Bobby Wagner, right.
I mean, I think he's solid. I don't think he's not the same player he was in Seattle.
No, he's not.
No.
I mean, Jeremy Chinn's having a bit of a career resurgence.
Mm-hmm.
Frankie Lovu, the linebacker, he's kind of used all over the place.
Were any of these guys in their best years, guys that you worried about? Wagner, maybe.
Right, Wagner, yes, but the other two are still young.
Deron Payne on the defensive line.
Deron Payne's a good, solid, middle-of-the-road defensive.
Although Dante Fowler's having a good year. I'll point that out.
There's no Aiden Hutchinson, though.
What's the big difference in this game in terms of the way Washington plays defense? Here's what Jason McCourty had to say.
The Washington Commanders have had a lot of success doing what they're doing. You mentioned the man-to-man piece of it. That's what they do. They run man-to-man 7th or 8th most in the NFL. You have to find a way, though, to mix it up. Get after the quarterback up front, but you're going to have to play a little bit more 2 safety high and take away those big plays. And you're going to have to put it on Deron Payne up front and Newton up front to get off blocks and be able to stop Saquon Barkley. If the ball's going over your head, you have no chance.
Well, and that's the big thing. Deron Payne, he mentioned up front, and I will always defer to the Eagles' offensive line. If you're going to tell me the big matchup is the Eagles' offensive line against one guy up front in the run game, I'm going to go with Philadelphia's offensive line there. I think Mekhi Becton, Cam Jurgens, and Dickerson in the interior should win that matchup with Deron Payne. 609-403-0973, 609-403-0973. Your biggest concern and question for the game tonight, send in the text messages, 609-403-0973. Don't
game
forget,
day, man.
It's always game
Keep
day.
that Sirianni stuff for during the week, not game day.
You think so?
Yes.
But if that's your biggest concern, you should
I don't
voice
care.
it.
It's game day. Keep that Sirianni stuff for tomorrow, next week.
You think it's going to come up tomorrow?
Probably.
All right, Sports Bash Live, 97.3 ESPN, Red Chickies and Pete's. You got your chicken parm sandwich over there.
I got my Kelly Green on and my chicken parm right
Yeah,
over there.
Josh, Peachy won Kelly Green. You know what? Who he's got on tonight?
Is it a jersey?
Yep, Kelly Green jersey.
Ooh, jersey. See, I don't really think of Pete as like a jersey guy, so I'm gonna guess. Is it like Jason Kelsey?
Nope. No Kelsey. I wonder if Nicky Nuggs will have his Kelly Green on for the Nuggs segment tonight.
I'm sure he will.
Sports Bash Live at Chickies and Pete's, the Philadelphia Eagles official sports bar. And, of course, we're here every Thursday. They'll have the game on tonight. They'll have the Flyers. They'll have the Eagles. You can watch them both. We got it all covered for you here on the Sports Bash Live. We got another chance for this year's 99 Growlers Party. Jeff Nadeau has his picks today. It's going to be a little earlier in the day. We'll have that for you coming up on the Sports Bash Live on 97.3 ESPN.
You're listening to the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you.
On 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's, the official sports bar of your Philadelphia Eagles. Make a selection from our seasonal food menu, then unwind with one of our sensational cocktails. The South Philly Sizzle, made with Bird Gang Habanero Tequila. Stateside pumpkin pie featuring stateside vodka, rum chata, and pumpkin puree. Delicious fiery sangria, tasty spiced apple punch, or the Campfire Mule at participating locations for a limited time. The official sports bar of your Philadelphia Eagles, Chickies and Pete's. Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's, the official sports bar of your Philadelphia Eagles. We're teaming up with Eagles wide receiver A.J. Brown for a new wing flavor this football season. A.J. Brown's Sweet Heat Wings. We combine the sweet and spicy flavors AJ loves, plus a portion of the proceeds benefit the AJ Brown Foundation and its focus on empowering underprivileged youth. At participating locations for a limited time, the official sports bar of your Philadelphia Eagles, Chickies and Pete's.
Time to work on your gift list with Black Friday deals at the Home Depot. Right now, get a select tool from top brands like Ryobi and Milwaukee for free when you buy a select battery kit. Choose from reciprocating saws, multi-tools, sanders, and more. Whether you're stocking up on power for your personal workshop or grabbing the perfect gift for someone else's. Get Black Friday tool deals delivered from the Home Depot. Limit 1 per transaction. Exclusions apply. Full eligible tool list in-store and online.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Hi, I'm Kamiko, the founder of Miko's Hot Chicken. When we started our family restaurant, we were also raising a family. But let me tell you, it wasn't easy. Our Chase Inc. card was there to reward us on all of our business needs. Now we have a thriving location, and we're hungry for more.
With Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card, you can earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more with yours. Real business owners compensated for their participation. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
This holiday season, Straight Talk Wireless is letting you say yes a lot more with real unlimited data. Yes to sharing pics of the ugliest holiday sweaters. Yes to checking weather on the go for surprise sledding trips. And with a free phone at sign up, let the yes-tivities begin.
No way!
Yes way. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart or straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 1/5/25 while supplies last at participating stores. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation on select single line plans. Limit of 2 phones per customer. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Prescription products require completion of an online consultation with an independent healthcare provider and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Additional restrictions apply. See website for more details and safety information.
Did you know millions of people are getting prescription medications for weight loss, sexual health, better sleep, and more, all online? RexMD.com has made getting these medications fast and easy, with free delivery of the most popular medications right to your door. Just fill out a brief survey, and if appropriate, we'll prescribe and ship clinically proven options to help with issues like weight loss.
I've lost 45 pounds so far. It's nice to get back into clothes that I haven't been able to wear for a long time.
We can also help with insomnia.
I slept through the whole night. It made me feel very well rested and ready to go for the day.
And RexMD can improve your sexual health.
I felt like a young man again. My wife is happier. I am definitely much happier.
At RexMD.com, we've made the process fast, easy, and affordable. Visit RexMD.com right now to get started. That's REXMD.com.
Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you watch a movie and then ask a zillion questions because you weren't paying attention? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep.
At Mattress Firm's Black Friday sale, get a king for the price of a queen and a free adjustable base with select Sealy beds, all with a low price guarantee.
Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Celebrate the holidays at Mud Hen Brewing Company. Friday, December 6th. Don't miss their White Christmas Party with circus performers, adult face painting, and live music by Don't Call Me Francis at 7 p.m. Then on Saturday, December 7th, join them for their Christmas tree lighting and hospitality night with Santa, a milk and cookie bar, free face painting, and caricatures. Enjoy live music by Animal House to keep the party going. Join the festive fun at Mud Hen Brewing Company, Wildwood. For details, visit mudhenbrew.com. You're listening to the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
And it just keeps getting better.
On 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
When Taylor Heineke came into the link and beat the Eagles, the only loss that year, by the way, for the Eagles with Hurts as their starting quarterback, play keep away, run the rock, make the Eagles prove they can stop you. So run it on first, run it on second, third down, convert some third downs with Jaden Daniels, but play keep away, shorten the game. The Eagles are the more talented team, so I think that's the key for the Commanders.
That was Ross Tucker from the Ross Tucker Football Podcast. Yesterday on the Sports Bash, he said that was the way to beat Philadelphia. That doesn't sound like a great blueprint. Got to run the ball on first down. Got to run the ball on second down. You got to play keep away. Are you a Super Bowl tender? Are you a playoff team? Or are you just trying to mask your deficiencies? Sports Bash Live, 97.3 ESPN, the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app. Streaming live video on the X platform, YouTube, at Mike Gill Show. Subscribe, watch the show. PG, Josh, we got a whole bunch going on. We got more text messages, 609-403-0973. We got a chance for you to qualify for 99 growlers coming up in less than a half an hour. So stick around, listen for that sounder to go off, and when you hear it, be caller number 7 to enter this year's 99 growlers. We'll have a pair of tickets to see the Eagles and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ross Tucker was on yesterday's show and had some very interesting things to say, but let's get into some more of these text messages, Josh. It looks like the text board has got heavy artillery on it.
Yeah, we got Phil chiming in on the text board. He says, guys, in my opinion, the main concern is the Eagles' pass rush. You got to keep Jaden Daniels contained. I think they will do good against Washington's run defense, which is why I'm a little concerned about Daniels, but I think it'll be a great night for the Eagles' offense, says Phil.
Yeah, Phil, you're right about the their offensive line. It's not great, but as Ross Tucker told us yesterday on the show, they're not great, but they're playing above their level right now. They've got some injuries up front. They're just an average offensive line talent-wise that's playing pretty well. You're right, though. I think Philadelphia should be disappointed if they don't get pressure. Last week, Pittsburgh, they handled Watt pretty well. So late in the game, Watt was a wrecker late in the game, but they handled him pretty well. They did sack him 3 times. They blitzed 53% of the time, though, guys. Let's put that back out there. That stat we had on yesterday's show. They blitzed 53% of the time, Pittsburgh did. Philadelphia ain't doing that. So they're going to have to find ways to get pressure, and I think they're going to have to disguise stuff. Keep in mind the name Zach Vaughn, Nakobe Dean, and Cooper DeJean. I think those are your three guys tonight that get used in a variety of ways to kind of manufacture some pressure, if you will.
Although I will say that to John McMullen's point the other day about the fact that, and Jeff Mosher brought up yesterday with you, Mike, as well. They both said that how that blitz pressure thing is about bringing 5 guys instead of necessarily 6 or 7. And a lot of times you can bring 5 guys. It might not look like a traditional blitz. So back to what you said right there, Mike, which is they got to disguise stuff. You got to bring guys from different places that maybe Daniels is not expecting.
Well, that's why I'm bringing up the guys that I'm bringing up. DeJean, Vaughn, and Nakobe Dean. They have to be and Cooper, I think, will move around. They do move him around a lot. They can kind of disguise him and bring him from the outside. Vaughn from up the middle. Nakobe's done a good job in that role. They got to pick their spots, though. They got to pick their spots, and I think they're going to be able to kind of shut down the Washington run game. They should win against the run up front.
Well, and with Pittsburgh, you mentioned Pittsburgh last week. Jaden Daniels only had 3 rushing attempts for 5 yards. So they kept him in the pocket.
Yep.
They didn't let him
get outside
the pocket.
Well, a lot of that's because they blitzed 53% of the time.
Well, there you go. But he wasn't taking off for 20-yard runs like we saw earlier on in the season.
All right, what else we got?
We got Jack in Cape May Courthouse says, Guantanamo Bay Mitchell is going to shut down Terry McLaurin tonight. He says it's going to be a big night for these backers, too. Let's bleeping go Birds, says Jack in Cape May Courthouse.
There you go, Jack.
I love the fact, I've been doing the show for way too long. I think it's about time for me to retire there, PG.
I think so.
I've been here a while, right?
Good, the bad,
but in
and
the
ugly.
entire time that I've been here, there hasn't been a Philly-Washington game of any substance like ever. I don't remember the last time these two teams played a meaningful game that I've been the host of this show. I mean, I might have been on vacation at the end of a year. I know that one year, didn't Washington beat Philly the one year and it got Chip Kelly fired? I was off that day, though.
Yeah, you were off that day. That was actually the first time I ever filled in for you, Mike.
A memory.
Well, going back in history, I mean, Washington's QBs, RG3, Kirk Cousins.
Jason Campbell.
Yeah,
Jason
the Kirk
Campbell.
Cousins game. You like that? Wasn't that against the Eagles? That game against the
was
Eagles?
it?
I believe it was.
Yeah,
Let me pull it up.
Alex Smith, Case Keenum.
Oh, they've had some wretched, although Cousins was okay. Robert Griffin had a one good year, but how long ago?
Buccaneers was against the Buccaneers.
Oh, okay. Well.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins came from behind and won 31-30.
I like that Jack in Cape May Courthouse, or Cape May.
Cape May Courthouse.
Okay, Courthouse. I like that Jack is fired up for an Eagles-Washington game, and he's right. Guantanamo Bay tonight. I told you, Jack. I'm with you on that. I'm relaxed about the Terry McLaurin thing because I got Quinyon Mitchell.
How impressed are you that Quinyon Mitchell has been this good as a rookie?
Surprisingly, has exceeded my expectations, and I liked him as the pick over who went to the Lions?
Arnold.
Yes, Travion Arnold. And I like the fact that they ended up with Quinyon Mitchell. I didn't expect him to be like a guy that would have me not worried.
Did you expect Mitchell to be there? He kind of slipped, I would say. I think some teams passed on him.
I definitely think that, well, when he was there, I think the Eagles they had choices, and I think that was the surprise, that they had to make a choice between.
Yeah, a lot of people were surprised that all those corners dropped to that point.
Right.
Yeah. What else we got?
We got Corey, the Commanders fan. Mike chimes in and says, hey, guys, I love the show and your perspectives. I love the hype for this game. I think it's going to be a great game. You guys need to know that Washington has been improving week by week. That's from Corey, the Commanders guy.
They are. And listen, I think this Washington team is improving. The quarterback has elevated them. The new coach, Dan Quinn, has elevated them. And the entire organization has been elevated by, like it or not, Josh Harris buying the team has taken the stink of the Dan Snyder era away from them, and that has elevated the team. So give Josh Harris some credit, buys the team.
Spends money.
blows out all of the old Washington Redskin era,
Ron Rivera
football
draft picks,
team
they're
era.
long gone.
Yeah, so
Football team was the worst name of all time.
yeah, that whole era got pushed out by Josh Harris, and Dan Quinn has given a positive attitude to that team, and they hit on the quarterback. But Corey, the Commanders guy, I think would admit the rest of the roster is pretty average. I mean, they're not there yet. This isn't a Super Bowl Washington team. They're a team that has elevated in large part because the league stinks. That's one problem. But has been because Washington hasn't beaten a good team literally the whole year, right? They haven't beaten anybody. But I'm not going to knock them for that. There's not a lot of good teams to beat.
Right, that's the problem. It's like, how many good teams are actually on your schedule? It's like when a team from like a mediocre conference gets in the college football conversation, you're like, well, who'd they beat? It's like, well, they play in a poor conference. Like, it's not their fault.
The best win they have is at Arizona in week 4, 42-14, and that was before Arizona kind of turned it on a little bit.
It's a good one, though. Arizona's turned into a solid team.
It's a good win, but otherwise it's Carolina, it's Chicago, it's the
Bengals.
Giants twice, Cleveland.
Yep. Garrigan Galloway is listening on the free mobile app. Says, I think the key to winning is establishing the run. I trust our defense. I don't like our chances when Hurts throws over 20 to 25 times. Quinyon Mitchell getting the interception. Go Birds.
There you go. Game day.
Yeah, when Hurts throws over 20 to 25 times, that's another thing we're going to get into. This article Tim McManus wrote over at ESPN.com about what Hurts' vision is for the offense. I think it shows you how Hurts and Sirianni are in lockstep here. Because I think some of the thought is, well, Hurts wants to throw the ball more. He's making $250 million. He wants to. And this article kind of lays out, Hurts wants to win. He doesn't care about throwing the ball 30 times to win. He just wants to win. And I thought that was a pretty interesting part of that article.
And he proved that in college. Remember, he didn't try to fight for that starting job at Alabama with Tua. He told Coach, hey, I'm here to help Tua. But then when Tua struggled in the SEC championship game, Saban looks over at him and says, it's your turn, son. And he leads that comeback victory for Alabama. So Hurts is showing at the college and NFL level that for him, it ain't about the stats. It's about winning.
Yeah. Todd in Brigantine says, guys, I wish I had your excitement and confidence in tonight's game. Well, I didn't pick the game yet. I could give you a score at the end of this game, Todd, that might, change your opinion there. He says, I don't see a way they win. What do you mean you don't see a way they win? I mean, I know you're on that Brigantine Island over there, but come on, brother.
I don't see many ways that they lose.
The salt air?
Right.
Well, you might say you don't see a way they win? Like you're telling me there's not one path to victory? I mean, dude, come on.
I would say,
that's
Todd,
the most asinine thing I've ever. Okay, you might say, I'm not as confident as you guys. I think Washington's the better team. I think Washington wins the game. But to say you don't see a way they win, I mean, dude.
Todd and Brigantine's also the guy who didn't think they would win more than 7 games
I know.
this year.
And Todd's a good dude. I've met him before, but he sounds like a jackass. To say that you don't see a way that he wins.
Not even like a 23-20 last-second field goal.
Right, you can't tell me, man, I can see a shootout because the Eagles have A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, and the Commanders' defense isn't very good. Like, you can't tell me, look, you might say I'm not confident, but you can't tell me you don't see a way they win. You sound like a fool.
September 30th, Todd and Brigantine says, I'm feeling really good about 7 wins for the Eagles this year.
Well, they have 7 wins right now.
So.
Who are the Eagles, right?
He's
Todd, your credibility your credibility is pretty shot when it comes to any Eagles thought. You didn't think the Eagles were going to win, what was it, 7?
He said they were going to win 7 games this year.
Well, I guess they're losing the rest of the year.
Yep.
I mean, seriously. That's what kind of an idiot you sound like, Todd. You're a good dude, man. Don't waste your time. I wish this was an era where they still charge you by the text. If we didn't get unlimited text, you wouldn't send something so dumb.
You believe he would think twice?
If he had a restriction, like if he had 10 texts a month and the 11th one you got charged for, and that was number 11, I guarantee he wouldn't send that.
Oh, my goodness. That's too funny.
Todd, you owe me a drink, by the way, for your ridiculous 7-win outlook, which I ripped you for before. And now I'm going to take the chance to rip you again. The next time you come out to an event, I will shake your hand. I will thank you for listening over the years. But, man, you sound like a jackass.
Where would you like what?
Seriously, Todd, I want you to tell me. You said, I don't see a way they win. Not one. You don't see one way that they could figure out how to beat this team at home with the roster they have. Now, you're well within your right to say you like Washington better, but you don't see there's not one thing going through your mind that says, if this happens, that's how they could win. Not one?
He has nothing for you, Mike. He doesn't think, even if the whole Washington team is injured, he doesn't think they can win.
Todd's a good dude. I've met him a few times. He's just delusional today. And by the way, delusional at the beginning of the season when he said the Eagles wouldn't win 7 games, and we laughed at him for that.
Thanks for listening, Todd.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for engaging with us, Todd.
Todd, if you're over the text limit, if you're not over the text limit, give me one way you think the Eagles can win the game. I would love to see what you conjure up, or is there no ways, as you mentioned?
By the way, Rico says he's happy to have PG back on the Bash.
Oh, thanks, Rico. That's a long-time listener right there, then, my friend.
How many people listening today were listening in the Pete G era?
I have to imagine there's a lot.
I'm assuming there's a good amount.
Oh,
yeah.
I think so. Well, we did the 15-year anniversary party this summer, and I had people that came up to me on some of these spots and said they've been listening since the first, back on 1450.
1450 a.m.
Were you there on 1450?
I was.
Okay. I don't even remember 1450.
The 3 to 7 days.
Yeah, those days stunk. 3 to 7 was rough. I was getting home late. It's cold. This daylight savings time, the standard time thing for the birds.
It's still killing you.
Yeah, it's like Todd from Brigantine's opinions. They stink. Sports Bash Live, 97.3 ESPN. All right, coming up, John McMullen, 3 o'clock. Nadu with his picks today. What else we got going on? Another chance for you to qualify for this year's 99 Growlers party, and that's coming up in about 7 minutes on the Sports Bash Live on 97.3 ESPN.
It's Sixers basketball tomorrow night on 97.3 ESPN with the voice of the Sixers, Tom McGinnis, calling all the exciting play-by-play action.
Jared McCain's going to have to do it himself. Into the lane, right-hand layup, up and good. He took it right down the lane.
It's Sixers Magic tomorrow night. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. It's Sixers basketball all season long on South Jersey's radio home for Philadelphia 76ers basketball. 97.3 ESPN.
Tired of hearing no? Everywhere you go, we turn no into go during Black Nissan's November sales event. Say no to high-priced new cars. Brand new Met Black Nissan Sentra S, just $19,999. Say no to low trade offers. AJ the Trade Man wants your trade, no matter the make, miles, or condition. Say no to down payments. Say no to payments for 90 days. And say no to high interest rates. 60 months, 0% financing on every clearly marked new Nissan. Backed by Mad Black's 4-day love it or leave it return policy. Tired of hearing no to a discount on a new ride? New 25 Sentra S, under 20 grand.
Oh yeah, it's on at Mad Black Nissan.
Approved Tier 1 credit for Nissan. Negative equity refinance. VIN number SY231649. MSRP 22,730 plus tax tag at $689.8. Offers can't be combined 0% for 60 months. Call 877-289-6667 or go to MadBlackNissan.com for complete details. Offer ends 12/5/24. It's on at Mad Black Nissan on the Black Horse Pike. Egg Harbor Township.
In business, service is everything. Cintas delivers what you need to better serve your customers. Whether it's freshly laundered work apparel for almost any job imaginable, tested and inspected fire protection systems, first aid and safety supplies, on-site AED training, or mops and restroom products, stocked and ready when you need them. Better work days happen together. So visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Your business needs a network it can count on.
Power's out.
Comcast Business has you covered with Wi-Fi backup to help keep your business up and running, even when your power goes out.
Everybody in the warehouse good? Lights are out, but the Wi-Fi's up. Let's power on.
It's from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
Break room, you good?
Can't microwave my burrito, but Wi-Fi's fine. Let's power on.
Power on with the leader in connectivity, Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Keep your business connected with Comcast Business Internet and Wi-Fi backup, or get started with reliable internet for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get up to a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call or go online today. Ends 11/17/24. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 150 megabit per second internet. EcoBill and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change.
Hey there, you in aisle 2. I see you by the fiber and laxatives. You still using those to manage your constipation with belly pain? If your symptoms keep coming back, you may have irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. So you may need more than over-the-counter treatments to manage it. Ask your doctor about how Linzess can help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LANZESS.
At the Home Depot, the holidays have arrived.
And so is all my family. So I'm working on keeping up with the laundry.
The Home Depot is here to help with Black Friday savings up to 40% off select appliances. Spend less time doing laundry with smart, efficient appliances from Samsung, ranked #1 in customer satisfaction.
Perfect. Less laundry time means more family time.
Get Black Friday savings now with free delivery and financing on select appliances at the Home Depot. Visit jdpower.com/awards for more details. Offer valid November 6th through December 4th. U.S. only. See store or online for details.
Score a touchdown when you bank with Jersey Shore Federal Credit Union. Catch lower rates on loans and higher rates on savings. You'll cheer when you don't have to pay a penny to get your own money since they offer 85,000 surcharge-free ATMs. Get the details or open an account online with just a $25 minimum deposit at JerseyShoreFCU.org or swing to a branch in Northfield, Galloway, Hamilton, or Rio Grande. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to The Sports Bash with Mike Gill on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app.
Listen, the Eagles' defense, since the bye, since they figured out Vic Fangio's defense, since they put Cooper DeJean in at nickel, they have been absolutely lights out. I mean, the likes of which you rarely see in the NFL. I mean, they're holding teams like the Giants and Cowboys to less than 50 yards net passing in an NFL game. When they're beating them by 20-some points, that's unheard of.
That was Ross Tucker from the Ross Tucker Football Podcast on the Sports Bash on 97.3 ESPN. We're live at Chickies and Pete's, the official sports bar of the Philadelphia Eagles. It's never too early to book that holiday party at Chickies and Pete's. Book now for November or January and get a party upgrade. Visit chickiesandpete's.com. Sports Bash Live. Poor Todd and Brigantine's getting hammered right now. Poor guy.
He did to himself.
Fair or unfair, PG?
Well, he had an opinion, that's for sure, but
He had
it
an
just wasn't a
opinion.
very good one. And his track record is just poor.
Jay Foxy5's watching on YouTube. He says, when was the last time Washington was actually good? They won the division in 2020. I don't know that they were actually good that year, though.
They had a losing record that year.
Did they? 7-9 when won the division?
It was either 7-9 or 7-8-1. Let me pull it up.
That was good old Ron Rivera, Riverboat.
Because that was the year that Heineke tried to outduel Tom Brady in the playoffs.
People thought when they hired Ron Rivera, I was one of them, that
7
would
and
kind
9.
of stabilized the franchise. Like that
7
would
and 9,
stabilize
baby.
The organization. A couple text messages, 609-403-0973. Phil says, Todd is giving people in Brigantine a bad name. Maybe hit the Cove Bar a little early today. Ooh, low blow right there.
It is game day. That would be okay.
That would be justifiable.
Yes.
If he told me he hit the Cove Bar or any of the other great establishments in Brigantine, if he said, hey, I hit the Cove Bar a little early, and that is the reason for my outlandish opinion.
That's
on
a
that
mulligan
text
for
message.
you. That's okay.
This is a really low blow text message here. That dude's brain is just like Brigantine, one way in and one way out. Oh, man, that's not fair.
Well, part of it's true. Right?
I love Brigantine, man. He's not giving Brigantine a bad name. He's just trying to hold on to that opinion that he gave us that said they were only going to win 7 games. Johnny Mack joins us at 3. There you go. There is the 99 Growlers Sounder, 609-573-3776, 573-3776. Caller 7 right now. You're entered for this year's 99 Growlers party at Mud Hen Brewing Company in Wildwood on Wednesday, November 27th. We'll be there live with 99 pairs of tickets. Yes, we bring 99 tickets. 99 of you guys will show up, and everybody walks out with a pair of tickets. One pair is Eagles-Steelers Club box seats. We got Sixers. We got Flyers. We've got concerts. We've got shows, and so much more. It's our biggest event of the year. It's Growlers, 99 Growlers at Mud Hen Brewing Company in Wildwood on Rio Grande Avenue. Caller 7, good luck.
This is South Jersey's official home for Philadelphia Eagles football. The Eagles continue the 2024 season on Thursday Night Football, hosting their NFC East rivals, the Washington Commanders.
He is going deep down the far side of the field. Sleeping back to bed.
Pre-game coverage starts at 7 p.m. with Merrill Reese and Mike Quick calling all the action starting at 8:15. This is the play-by-play home of the Philadelphia Eagles, 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's Eagles station.
I need a new car. Under 20 grand? Okay, well, what's my trade worth? You know what? I'm going to Matt Blatt Kia, where I can get some straight talk.
Brand new Matt Blatt Kia Forte LXS, under 20 grand. That's right, a brand new Kia, just $19,999. With any trades, that's less than most used vehicles. Currently buried in a loan or lease, Matt Blatt Kia wants to get you released and into your new Kia with zero down, zero payments until February, even 0% for 72 months on every clearly marked new Matt Blatt Kia in stock. So bring any trade, because if you have a job clearing $450 per week, we want to get you approved today.
It's gotta be a Matt Blatt Kia.
With approved credit, 24 ED9, $13.89 per thousand finance. Not all will qualify. Credit and down payment. Offers can't be combined. Go to mattblackkia.com for complete details, or 888-505-6670. Price includes all costs to be paid by consumer, except for licensing, registration, and taxes. KNF rebates and incentives to dealer. Expires 12/4/24. Matt Blatt Kia, 6211 Black Horse Pike, Egg Harbor Township, and on Route 37 in Toms River.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, you know to check you have a full tank of gas first, before road tripping through the desert.
Empty? Seriously? Maybe I can walk.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Maybe I can't.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's, the official sports bar of your Philadelphia Eagles, celebrating football season with special new menu items. The Kelsey Combo, created by number 62 himself, a handcrafted barbecue burger, world-famous crab fries, and an ice-cold garage beer. Our incredible jumbo soft pretzel, Chicky style, with a heaping skillet of our own in-house crab dip, and our delectable sweet heat wings, where a portion of the proceeds go to the A.J. Brown Foundation. Participating locations for a limited time. Chickies and Pete's.
Prescription products require completion of an online consultation with an independent healthcare provider and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Additional restrictions apply. See website for more details and safety information.
Did you know millions of people are getting prescription medications for weight loss, sexual health, better sleep, and more, all online? RexMD.com has made getting these medications fast and easy, with free delivery of the most popular medications right to your door. Just fill out a brief survey, and if appropriate, we'll prescribe and ship clinically proven options to help with issues like weight loss.
I've lost 45 pounds so far. It's nice to get back into clothes that I haven't been able to wear for a long time.
We can also help with insomnia.
I slept through the whole night. It made me feel very well rested and ready to go for the day.
And RexMD can improve your sexual health.
I felt like a young man again. My wife is happier. I am definitely much happier.
At RexMD.com, we've made the process fast, easy, and affordable. Visit RexMD.com right now to get started. That's REXMD.com.
Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you watch a movie and then ask a zillion questions because you weren't paying attention? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. At Mattress Firm's Black Friday sale, get a king for the price of a queen and a free adjustable base with select Sealy beds, all with a low price guarantee. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Hey, it's Mike Gill. The Nizam's Indian Restaurant on Route 40 in Egg Harbor Township is ready to serve you delicious Indian dishes. NJ.com ranked them as the #2 best restaurant in all of New Jersey. And this just in. It's their Eagles football special. Your table receives free tandoori, spicy chicken wings if the Eagles win for dine-in customers only. Join them for a special lunch buffet, Fridays through Sundays from 11:30 to 3 p.m. Visit thenizams.com for more information.
South Jersey's official play-by-play home of the Eagles, Sixers, and Flyers.
At 0 point would I ever consider not being a fan of the team.
97.3 ESPN, WENJ, WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City. A Town Square media station, serving all of South Jersey. This is the Sports Bash with Mike Gill on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app. Now live from inside the Ocean Casino Resort studio, here's Mike Gill.
If they could win tonight, they would move into first place now. Having won in Philadelphia, it would make a statement not only for tonight, not only for this season, but I think for seasons to come, that we have a quarterback that's ready to dominate in the NFC East, where the Giants are struggling to figure out who's playing quarterback, where the Cowboys have a quarterback, he's out for the year, where the Eagles have Jalen Hurts. But if you win on their home turf, send them a message in front of their fans, that to me is a huge statement.
Huge statement game tonight. Philadelphia trying to hold off the Commanders' arrival. The Commanders trying to arrive. The Sports Bash Live, 97.3 ESPN. We're live at Chickies and Pete's. Of course, it's the official sports bar of the Philadelphia Eagles. Chickies and Pete's holiday gift cards. The perfect gift that always fits and always gets returned. Buy in person or online at chickiesandpete's.com. I anticipate a nice crowd in here tonight for the Eagles and the Commanders. You can feel the energy starting to build. The Flyers play tonight as well. You can listen to the Eagles and Commanders on 97.3 ESPN. The Flyers on our sister station, Rock 104.1. I think they play Ottawa tonight. Eagles Report is brought to you by Boardwalk Honda. Shop their lineup of new, pre-owned, and certified pre-owned Hondas online at boardwalkhonda.com. John McMullen from Birds 365, Sports Illustrated is here. You heard Adam Schefter, the statement tonight. You know, the one thing that's interesting, they can make a statement tonight, but I think most people think that this team is at least a year ahead of schedule, and the quarterback has taken them here, John. When you look at the two rosters, what is the difference in the separation between these teams? All right, let's take a look at some of the matchups here that I'm intrigued by and get your take on them here. John McMullen from Birds 365, weekday mornings, 8 a.m. on the Jacob Media YouTube channel. How do you think the Eagles secondary, I've likened a lot of people this in the first hour of our show, feel supremely confident in Quinyon Mitchell. How does the secondary do against Washington's offense? Do we see McLaurin versus Mitchell, or do the Commanders move McLaurin around, and how the secondary holds up with, because I think a lot of people look at Washington and think it's just McLaurin. As you pointed out to me on your show the other day, the other guys don't get enough mention, but they're not bad either. John, you got that's the pass game for Washington. Do you think the Eagles defense can slow down the Commanders' rushing attack? It's something a lot of people don't look at them a lot. They don't have that, Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, but Brian Robinson will play tonight. A lot of downhill runs with him, which puts a lot more pressure on Nakobe Dean and Zach Bond. Johnny Mac, let's look at a couple other things, and what they like to do with Robinson. He get Robinson and Eckler. When you put those two guys, that gives them another dimension that kind of adds to what they can do with having both of those guys. Talk about Daniels. You talk about the +1 and the way they use him in the run game. Because last week they only got 5 yards rushing out of him. He had 3 attempts for 5 yards. How was Pittsburgh? Because they like to do a lot of design stuff with Daniels. He's another big factor in their run game, as you mentioned, with the +1. But how do they use him? Does he improvise, or do they kind of draw things up for him? Yeah, and he also can scramble and move around, so that's going to be one thing, obviously, to keep an eye on tonight, how to kind of contain Daniels and their run game. Getting Brian Robinson back definitely adds a big thing. He's the most, I would imagine, is the most mobile quarterback. I'm trying to think back this week to the season. I mean, he's the most mobile guy that they have been up against this year, and you wonder what Vic Fangio can try to do to limit the damage there. Mm-hmm. If they bring pressure, where do you think it comes from? Is it Vaughn? Is it Dean? Is it DeJean? Is it a mix? Like, where's the guy that you think he likes to kind of use in that role, especially in a game like tonight? Anything you see in Washington that makes you think that they can stop what the Eagles do? Let's start with the run game. If the Eagles say, you know what, we just want to run the ball tonight, make you stop us. Anything you've seen from Washington's defense, which, by all metrics, and these things can get turned into, well, they don't stop the run, or teams don't run on them a lot because Washington seems to have a lot of leads. Yeah. All right, John, let's look at the injury situation. Devontae Smith is going to play, and he had the hamstring situation that he was going to be, quote-unquote, limited in practice if they did practice this week. But it seems like Philadelphia is at full strength and nothing holding anybody back here. Is that where we are? Mailata going to play. Goddard has already been back for a game. Devontae was on the injured list. And everybody else? That's unbelievable. All right, John. Well, obviously, it's a big one. If Washington wins, it really changes the dynamics of this season, as we discussed during the week here. If Philadelphia wins, has the narrative become winning the NFC East, or now did they start to zone in on Detroit? Right. Does a win tonight win the people over? Sure. All right, John. Obviously, we're a couple hours away from kickoff. The Eagles are healthy. You can listen to the game on 97.3 ESPN. Who you got tonight? How's this game going? (34-24), John McMullen, Birds 365. We'll recap it tomorrow here on the Sports Bash as the Eagles play the Commanders tonight on 97.3 ESPN. John, appreciate it as always, pal. There's John. He's going to be up at Lincoln Financial Field for the game tonight. And, of course, the Eagles and the Commanders for first place in the NFC East, and you can only hear it on 97.3 ESPN. Flyers fans, the Flyers will be over on Rock 104.1, and, of course, the Rock 104.1 free mobile app. McMullen is brought to you by Boardwalk Honda. Shop their lineup of new pre-owned and certified pre-owned Hondas online, boardwalkhonda.com. This hour of the show is brought to you by Broadley's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, your trusted source for heating, plumbing, service, installation for generations. Online at broadleys.net. Call for service 609-390-3907. When we come back, it's the Outside View. We're going to Washington. Anthony Armstrong, host of Believe in Commanders, the podcast, former Washington, then Redskin wide receiver. He'll join us coming up next on what he's viewing from the outside on this Eagles team. And that's next on the Sports Bash Live on 97.3 ESPN, the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app, and live video streaming on the X platform and YouTube at Mike Gill Show.
Wake up weekday mornings from 6 to 10 a.m. with Unsportsmanlike on 97.3 ESPN with Evan Cohen, Super Bowl champion Chris Canty, and Michelle Small. Can't wake up without it. Brought to you by the Gallery Bar Book and Games at Ocean Casino Resort in Atlantic City.
Tired of hearing no? Everywhere you go, we turn no into go during Matt Nissan's November sales event. Say no to high-priced new cars. Brand new Matt Blatt Nissan Sentra S, just $19,999. Say no to low trade offers. AJ the Trade Man wants your trade, no matter the make, miles, or condition. Say no to down payments. Say no to payments for 90 days. And say no to high interest rates. 60 months, 0% financing on every clearly marked new Nissan. Backed by Matt Blatt's 4-day love it or leave it return policy. Tired of hearing no to a discount on a new ride? New 25 Sentra S, under 20 grand.
Oh yeah, it's on at Matt Blatt Nissan.
Approved Tier 1 credit for NEMAC. Negative equity refinance. Number SY231649. MSRP 22,730 plus tax tag at $689,000. Offers can't be combined. 0% for 60 months. Call 877-289-667 or go to MattBlattNissan.com for complete details. Offer ends 12/5/24. It's on at Matt Blatt Nissan. The Black Horse Pike. Egg Harbor Township.
Finding the perfect gifts for everyone on your list takes time, and the holidays can get a little busy. So let Macy's help you get a jump on your shopping with our Black Friday sale happening right now. It's your chance to find the best deals on the best gifts before the holiday rush, like cozy puffers and coats and more of the season's best styles. So get your gifts at Macy's now. And when you're cool, calm, and collected during holiday crunch time, you'll have yourself and Macy's to thank. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Ooh, we got a question. Brian W. asks, it's the holiday season and I'm looking for deals. Is Xfinity having a Black Friday sale?
Well, Brian, our best deals of the year are here. Get iPhone 16 Pro on us. Just ask us how. Plus, you can also get fast, reliable Xfinity internet with a line of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited for a great low price.
So don't wait. Bring home a new iPhone 16 Pro built for Apple Intelligence.
And connect to reliable 5G and Wi-Fi speeds up to a gig on Xfinity Mobile.
That's a big deal.
More like a gig deal.
Now through December 3rd, ask how to get the new iPhone 16 Pro on us with an unlimited Plus line. Plus, get 300 megabit Xfinity internet and an unlimited mobile line together for only $35 a month for 12 months with no annual contract. Go to Xfinity.com/Black Friday sale to learn more. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing or auto pay with your bank account, equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity internet. Gig speeds available via hotspots to Xfinity Mobile customers only. Reduced speeds after use of monthly data included with your data option. Actual internet speeds and data thresholds may vary.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now, during our Black Friday sale, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed, plus special financing. Limited time. Find a store near you. Visit sleepnumber.com.
Stirring fiber, exercising, frequent trips to the store for more laxatives and fiber. Sounds like your constipation with belly pain is a lot to manage. But if your symptoms that keep coming back are signs of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C, ask your doctor how Linzess can help you get ahead of it. Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
The holidays are here at the Home Depot. If you're working on getting ready for company,
a lot of company,
make sure you're ready with Black Friday savings. Get up to 40% off select appliances, plus up to an extra $1,000 off select kitchen appliances. Upgrade your kitchen with top brands like GE Profile and get sleek cutting-edge appliances to make sure you
got hosting handled.
Yeah, you do. Get Black Friday savings now with free delivery and financing on select appliances this holiday at the Home Depot. Offer valid November 6th through December 4th. U.S. only. See store online for details.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's, the official sports bar of your Philadelphia Eagles, celebrating football season with special new menu items. The Kelsey Combo, created by number 62 himself, a handcrafted barbecue burger, world-famous crab fries, and an ice-cold garage beer. Our incredible jumbo soft pretzel, Chicky style, with a heaping skillet of our own in-house crab dip, and our delectable sweet heat wings, where a portion of the proceeds go to the A.J. Brown Foundation. Participating locations for a limited time. Chickies and Pete's. Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's, the official sports bar of your Philadelphia Eagles. Our new menu includes our boneless wing special every Monday. Buy a single order of our mouth-watering boneless wings and get a snack order of boneless wings free. Every Tuesday and Wednesday, it's buy one, get one free snows. Buy any number of delectable snow crab legs and get the same amount free. Plus the Kelsey Combo, tasty buffalo fried shrimp, seafood pasta in our famous Sicilian or red sauce. Participating locations for a limited time. Chickies and Pete's.
Finding the perfect gifts for everyone on your list takes time, and the holidays can get a little busy. So let Macy's help you get a jump on your shopping with our Black Friday sale happening right now. It's your chance to find the best deals on the best gifts before the holiday rush, like cozy puffers and coats and more of the season's best styles. So get your gifts at Macy's now. And when you're cool, calm, and collected during holiday crunch time, you'll have yourself and Macy's to thank. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
If you or someone you know needs help getting through a difficult time, start with NJ211. When you reach out to 211, we can connect you to help with housing, utilities, food, childcare, senior services, income support, healthcare, legal issues, and more. Help is available in over 150 languages, and the service is free, confidential, and available 24/7. Need help? Dial 211, text 898-211, or search nj211.org.
You're listening to the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
Never thought this radio stunt would catch on so big.
On 97.3 ESPN.
When Taylor Heineke came into the link and beat the Eagles, the only loss that year, by the way, for the Eagles with Hurts as their starting quarterback, play keep away, run the rock, make the Eagles prove they can stop you. So run it on first, run it on second, third down, convert some third downs with Jaden Daniels, but play keep away, shorten the game. The Eagles are the more talented team, so I think that's the key for the Commanders.
That was Ross Tucker from the Ross Tucker Football Podcast on 97.3 ESPN. He was on yesterday's show. If you want to go listen to the full conversation, you can get that on our YouTube channel at 973 ESPN. Anthony Armstrong, former Washington Redskins wide receiver, going to join us in just a moment here for today's Outside View. Here on the Sports Bash Live, we are at Chickies and Pete's in Atlantic City at the Tropicana. It is the official sports bar of the Philadelphia Eagles, and it's never too early to book that holiday party at Chickies and Pete's. Book now for November or January and get a party upgrade. Visit Chickies and Pete's.
Actually, I looked it up. Anthony Armstrong, when he spent time with Washington, his quarterback, do you know who that was for one of the seasons?
Alex Smith?
No. One Donovan McNabb.
Really?
Eagles Hall of Famer. Donovan McNabb. Also had Rex Grossman in there. Jason Campbell as well.
Jason Campbell was all right for a year.
Jason Campbell's gotten more love on today's show than he's gotten his entire life on this show.
Nah, that's not necessarily true.
I mean, we've name-dropped the guy 3 times today.
Yeah, but when he was the quarterback of the team, they had it 1 year, I think they won the division with him. I think they had one good year with him. Don't quote me on that, but yeah, I think they did.
They won the 2007 went to the postseason, but 2005 went to the postseason as well. So
yeah,
I think they actually went twice, it looks like, with him.
Yep. All right, Anthony Armstrong's here. Let's get the outside view today. It's brought to you by Broadlee's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, your trusted source for heating, plumbing, air conditioning service, and installation for generations. Call 609-390-3907 or visit them online at broadlees.net. He is host of Believe in Commanders, the podcast, and he joins us now, former Washington wide receiver Anthony Armstrong. And Anthony, welcome back to the show. How are you, man?
I'm good, man. How are you doing? The weather is changing here, so it's like warm enough, but it's got a little bit of a chill, so it's not too bad. How you doing?
You're right. It's the first time. It's a little nippy. Philadelphia, it's supposed to rain maybe a little bit, but a lot of the narrative entering this game is how big of a game it is. And my thought for you is, do you look at Washington as a team that's maybe arrived early, exceeded expectations, and wonder how they're going to handle a moment like this? Philadelphia, short week, prime time, division, first place.
Well, if this was a game that happened prior to week 4, obviously maybe Thursday night football wasn't happening then, I would have questioned it. But this team has shown me enough. They've shown me enough resolve. They've won in a multitude of ways that I would feel like they could bounce back from that sloppy loss on Sunday with a strong performance on Thursday against Philly. So Dan Quinn's done a great job at getting this team to refocus and stay at hand on the process and focus on what to do next and focus on the next play. So that's the biggest key for this game, just to take it down from what it is. It's prime time only game on TV, but Take it down to just one simple football game, and that'll be their best chance to perform well.
Let's start with getting Brian Robinson back and what that changes and means for the offense, Anthony.
Man, Brian Robinson, he brings a level of physicality that changes the way the defense has to respect you. So if it's Austin Eckler in the backfield, you would see a safety stay back. Say, hey, you know what? Go ahead and run the ball, do your screens and things of that nature. But when Brian Robinson is in there, they're going to run the ball for 5-6 yards to carry. He's able to push the pile forward. He's going to be able to open that play action game. And having him on the field when you didn't have him in the previous two matchups against Pittsburgh and against Baltimore, and you barely lost both of those games. So I would like to think that his presence is going to help affect what Philly does and give you a little bit more shots down the field.
Yeah, Terry McLaurin, obviously, he's had good games against Philadelphia. A lot of people here are excited to see McLaurin against Quinyon Mitchell, the rookie. And if McLaurin gets, I don't know. Mitchell's been pretty good. He's been locking everybody down. Not to say he's going to shut down a guy like Terry McLaurin, but my question is really the entire Washington pass game against this secondary team, because that's going to be the main event. But what about the undercard matchups there?
Man, when you go individually, I mean, obviously Darius Slay is who he is. He's a top dog in the league. And he's getting a little older, but he's still somebody that you have to respect. What's going to happen on that side? Noah Brown, any other receiver that's lining up for Washington? Is Darius going to maybe follow Terry? I want to see how that matchup works out, because you have to think Terry's going to garner enough attention, and how they treat him is going to mean that you have to go somewhere else with the football. So who's going to step up? Is it Zach Ertz? Is it Noah Brown? Is it De'Ami Brown? He dropped a touchdown last week. So I would love to see those guys make those catches this week and step up to those matchups. You got a couple of rookies out there. Cooper Jean, you already mentioned Quinyon Mitchell. I mean, if you come from a small school and you play DB, you got to be a dog. So I know that Quinyon's going to bring his A game, and Terry's going to give him all he can handle.
Anthony Armstrong, former Washington wide receiver. He's host of Believe in Commanders on the Believe Podcast Network. Eagles Commanders tonight. You played wide receiver in this league, and you look over this Eagles defense. How do you attack this Eagles defense? They're interesting. They don't have a great pass rush. They don't have that, TJ Watt that you guys saw last week. There's not a guy like that. The linebackers have been solid. Zach Bond is the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. They got this secondary, as you mentioned, young. You got a guy like Chauncey Gardner-Johnson likes to take chances. So if you're a wide receiver this week, how are you attacking this defense?
Man, I tell you, I would love to get to chipping with Chauncey a little bit, kind of get him out of his game, and let's see how they react to this no-huddle offense that Washington's going to roll at them. I mean, I think that's one thing that's been helping Washington, help keep some pressure off that quarterback. They shut TJ Watt out last week, and really when you're dealing with that defensive front, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, those guys, you don't want them to start ruining your day. So find ways to be able to move this defense around, get them in uncomfortable situations. All right, I want to get to that secondary, confuse those young players. I'd focus on DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell. Let them step up to this, step up to the challenge and see what they're able to do. All right, it's a big game for them too. This is their Thursday night as well, so you might as well see if Cliff Kingsbury can dial some things up. I'm looking for some creativity. Even though it's a short week, you still got to find a way to mix some things in there to get some favorable plays for you.
All right, I want to flip it over to the Eagles offense. If you're a wide receiver in that offense, looking over what Washington has on defense, you got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, the tight end Goddard, Barkley, the running back. Which of those guys, if you're Washington's defense, worries you the most?
My goodness, it's just flip a coin, close your eyes and point, because you have so many playmakers over there. I mean, already coming in, the pass catchers are enough of a problem just because the secondary is still young, getting some penalties back there for Benjamin St. Juste. Mikey Sanders still, I like how he plays. I'm interested to see if he's just going to follow Devontae Smith around size for size and then let St. Juste battle with A.J. Brown. So you know that's a matchup that you got to circle. But for me, Mike, it's Saquon Barkley. I mean, the guy jumped over somebody backwards. Like, that's got to be the play of the year. Like, I don't care what else happens. And hell, we even had the Hail Mary, and Saquon jumped over somebody backwards. Like, that's got to be – it brings that offense to a whole other level. Last year when you had different running backs, running the game, running the ball wasn't necessarily something that you worried about as much. Now you give it to Saquon. He can catch it out of the backfield. That's the worry for me. How are you going to handle him? Is it going to the safety? Is it Jeremy Chin? Or is it try to put Frankie Louvu on him? So I don't know. It's going to be an interesting matchup.
Well, and, the two guys we haven't talked about, Jaden Daniels and what he has meant to Washington and the revival of that organization and the franchise, and Jalen Hurts, two guys that you have to have a +1 in the defense there. So before we get to Daniels and what he has done to kind of change the complexion of that organization, when you look at Jalen Hurts? Do you look at him as a guy that, man, he gets you with the deep ball, or he gets you with his arm, or do you worry more about him in the run game?
Man, he's a guy that's going to make solid decisions. He's not taking too many chances unless it's there. But it's really when he runs the ball that really pisses me off. I can't lie. You think you have him pinned back, everybody's covered, and he escapes the pocket and converts that first down. Or they find themselves down in 3rd and 1, and you already know what it's going to do. They're going to go with the tush push. So him being able to run the ball, the way he affects the game in the red zone that way, it's tough to sit there and try to put an extra defender on one of those receivers because you have a quarterback that can get out of the pocket, and he's going to have success with his feet. So the linebacking matchup, that chess matchup between Bobby Wagner and Jalen Hurts, that's going to be interesting. Once again, I mentioned Frankie Louvu before. He has the athleticism to spy Jalen Hurts, so there's going to be a chess match that's played between Joe Witt and Jalen, and I'm excited, man. I think it's going to be pretty good.
What has Jaden done to kind of change this organization? Years ago, I guess it was about 10, 11 years ago, they had RG3 in there, and that felt like it was a changer for the organization. It felt like it was something that kind of changed the whole complexion of the organization, and that lasted 1 year due to injury. What has he done to change this organization?
Man, there's a multitude of things. I mean, I'll start off the field. The way that he approaches the game and the way that he shows up and prepares, it's not just smoke and mirrors like I'm the 2nd-round draft pick and you have to respect me. He's a guy that's showing you that he's going to do the job. He's there before everybody else in the facility. Everybody else in the organization, he's already worked out. He's watched film by the time the first person gets there. I've talked with Blake Ruffino. He's on another one of the Believe shows, covered him down in LSU. If the meeting's at 7 o'clock and you show up at 7:02, the door is locked, Mike. That's the type of standard that he brings. So whenever your leader, your dog, your quarterback is doing that, everybody else is raising their level of standard of play. You mentioned the confidence. They have confidence now. I mean, if it's 1:37 left in the game, hell, if it's 15 seconds left in the game, you have some faith that Jaden Daniels can make something happen. And he's electrified this organization from the fan base all the way up and down the organization, from ownership, front office. I mean, even the staff inside of the facility are all riding high because Jaden Daniels is there. But the thing I love the most about him is that he continues to go back and say, hey, I'm just a rookie. I've only played 10 games in this league. I still have things to prove. And his mindset right there, helping him reset, it's why he's going to be great.
I love how he always doesn't look rushed. Even when things are coming fast at him, he doesn't look rushed. Last week, they blitzed him 53% of the time. Did not have a great game. But even in that, he didn't look like he just was running to get out. He seems so calm in there. You see a lot of these rookies. Caleb Williams, I mean, he looks rushed. He looks like everything's moving fast. Pittsburgh blitzed 53% of the time. 31% of the time, they pressured him. He was 1 for 8. He got sacked 3 times. Does Philadelphia have to blitz? Because they don't like the blitz or not. If they don't blitz a lot tonight, do you like Washington's chances?
If you're going to sit back and let Jaden Daniels see the stuff that you've already done on tape, then, yeah, I'm going to give a little hat tip to Washington because the kid's prepared. The kid's prepared. I mean, you mentioned 53% of the time there's pressure. Those are different looks that you haven't seen, right? You're prepared for a safety to drop in this hole, but here comes the linebacker instead. And that slows your processing down just that much. But the good thing I know about Jaden is that once you give him that information, he's going to be able to put it back out and take advantage of it the next time. So in this first game, my play, if I was Philly, I would try to emulate the same thing that Pittsburgh did and just send a lot of pressure and try to slow his processing down because he's shown that he can tear you up with his arm if you let him.
Anthony Armstrong, host of Believe in Commanders on the Believe Podcast Network, former Washington wide receiver, played with McNabb down there, right?
McNabb, got a little Rex Grossman in there too.
All right, McNabb, that was a very interesting trade at the time.
It was a miracle. Washington. It was a miracle for us. We were like, we got a quarterback, baby. We were excited.
Well, they got one now. They got a quarterback now, it looks like, and you can listen to the game tonight on 97.3 ESPN. Anthony, thanks, man.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. And, of course, Anthony Armstrong here, The Outside View. It's brought to you by Broadlee's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, your trusted source for heating, plumbing, service, and installation. For generations, call them at 390-3907 online, broadlees.net. We're live at Chickies and Pete's, the official sports bar of the Philadelphia Eagles. Chickies and Pete's gift cards for the holidays, the perfect gift that always fits and always gets returned. Buy in person online at chickiesandpete's.com. When we come back, Jeff Nadeau's here with his plays of
I got my
the
pen
week.
and paper right here. I got
Winners. We got winners, baby. He doled out the winners again last week. Find out what he has coming up next.
This is South Jersey's official home for Philadelphia Eagles football. The Eagles continue the 2024 season on Thursday Night Football, hosting their NFC East rivals, the Washington Commanders.
He is going deep down the far side of the field. Back to the man.
Pre-game coverage starts at 7 p.m. with Merrill Reese and Mike Quick calling all the action starting at 8:15. This is the play-by-play home of the Philadelphia Eagles, 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's Eagles station.
This holiday season, Straight Talk Wireless is letting you say yes a lot more with real unlimited data. Yes to sharing pics of the ugliest holiday sweaters. Yes to checking weather on the go for surprise sledding trips. And with a free phone at sign up, let the yes-tivities begin. No way! Yes way. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart or straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 1/5/25 while supplies last at participating stores. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation on select single line plans. Limit of 2 phones per customer. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
I need a new car. Under 20 grand? Okay, well, what's my trade worth? You know what? I'm going to Matt Blatt Kia, where I can get some straight talk.
Brand new Matt Blatt Kia Forte LXS, under 20 grand. That's right, a brand new Kia, just $19,999. With any trades, that's less than most used vehicles. Currently buried in a loan or lease, Matt Blatt Kia wants to get you released and into your new Kia with 0 down, 0 payments until February. Even 0% for 72 months on every clearly marked new Matt Blatt Kia in stock. So bring any trade, because if you have a job clearing $450 per week, we want to get you approved today.
It's gotta be a Matt Blatt Kia.
With approved credit, 24 ED9, 1389 per thousand finance. Not all will qualify. Credit and down payment. Offers can't be combined. Go to mattblackdfj.com for complete details. Or 888-505-6679. Price includes no cost to be paid by consumer, except for licensing, registration, and taxes. You're paying after rebates and incentives to dealer. Expires 12/4/24. Matt Blatt Kia, 6211 Black Horse Pike, Egg Harbor Township, and on Route 37 in Toms River.
Okay, everyone, what did you think of the chocolate bar?
It's too chewy.
Feels kind of chalky.
Too much nougat.
I need to go brush my teeth.
Business is booming for Steph's small marketing research firm.
After all these focus groups, there's only one conclusion. I need more researchers.
And she's way too busy researching
Does this have peanuts?
to waste time researching resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Warm up your holidays with JCPenney. From snuggly soft women's sweaters just $19.99 to festive family PJs now 40% off. Get ready for winter with all the comfy, feel-good layers you love. Wrap yourself in a warm faux mink throw, only $24.99. It's more cozy, bigger savings for you. JCPenney. Make it count. Offers valid on select styles through 11/21. Deals excluded from coupons. See store or jcp.com for details.
It's the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
Keeping the fans entertained and happy.
On 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Sports Bash Live, 97.3 ESPN, the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app, streaming live video on the X platform and on YouTube at Mike Gill Show. Subscribe and follow me there. Jeff Nadeau is back for the plays of the week. Another good week for the big man, Jeff Nadeau, who joins me now. We've got another couple of college games, and we'll take a look at the Eagles Commanders tonight on Thursday Night Football, which you can hear right here on 97.3 ESPN. All right, Jeff, welcome back. A good week for you last week, man.
Thank you, Mike. Thanks for having me.
As always, a lot of people looking forward to our conversations. Got a couple of interesting plays this week. So let's get into the college football season as it is winding down. A lot of teams in the playoff chase here. One of them in your first game this week, and that is SMU. The Ponies taking on Boston College. BC 4-0 against ranked teams this year. So this is a fun one here. You got Boston College, SMU favored by 17, the over-under 53.5.
Yeah, I'm going to lay the number here, Mike. I think this is a blowout waiting to happen. SMU is at home. They've been very good at home, covered 8 of the last 10 in their building. They're getting a BC team coming in here that's a little beaten up. Their quarterback, Thomas Castellanos, recently left their program, so he's into the transfer portal. That means now they're going to go to Grayson James, who is
I believe a redshirt junior. This is not going to be an easy thing to do. Last week, they played pretty well because they were able to run the ball against a bad Syracuse defense. SMU is one of the best rush defenses in the country. They're only allowing about 2.7 yards a carry. They've only allowed 7 rushing touchdowns all year and just 90 yards a game. So if I'm SMU, I stack the box, make Grayson James beat me. SMU is an offense that's rolling and has rolled all year. They're pushing 40 points a game. They've been able to move the ball really against everybody. This is a pretty average Boston College defense. You have to wonder, Mike, if this is a 10, 14, 17-point game at halftime, does BC's field just kind of go down the drain and they kind of get blown out here? I think this is kind of a similar game for BC to what they did against Virginia Tech, a game in which they lost by 21. I'm going to lay the number here with BC or with SMU, who is still got a very good shot at getting to the college football playoff. You got to win by margin at this point.
Yeah, I was going to say they're still in the mix there from the ACC. People forget SMU is now an ACC team, so this is a big game for those playoffs there. All right, laying the 17 SMU against Boston College. Let's go to another interesting game. Washington State is 19th, taking on New Mexico. 13.5 is the number. Washington State favored by 13.5. Big over-under here, 72.5. I think you were on a Washington State game last week, if memory serves.
Yeah, I had the over, and it was a winner, and I'm going back to the same well. I'm going to over 72. This is, to me, a game that could be first to 50 wins. I mean, Washington State seemingly gets to 50 every week, and New Mexico has one of the worst defenses in the country. Mike, they've allowed a ton of big plays. I remember in that first game, they allowed 61 to Arizona, who is one of the worst offenses in the country in the grand scheme of things. Washington State's averaging about 40 points a game. New Mexico is averaging, nearly 34 points a game, I think. They've actually been a damn good offense. Devin Dampier has the ability to run the football. He can also move the ball through the air. Washington State can't stop anybody. Both these teams are 4th and 9th in seconds per play on offense. They both go very fast. This is going to be a shootout, Mike. You seemingly watch New Mexico games every week, and it's 49-45, 51-48, 50-45. Like every week they have high-scoring games, and these quarterbacks are both very dynamic. Both have the ability to run for 150 yards in a game. Washington State's quarterback is kind of a poor man's Johnny Manziel. John Mateer, very good quarterback, can move the ball. Both these offenses do big things Saturday night.
Yeah, Dampier, awesome. He's fun to watch for New Mexico. Yeah. If you're a casual college fan, that one will be fun. A lot of points. It's a 9:30 game. FS1 has it, and Washington State over is 72.5. Jeff likes the over in that one. All right, let's go to this one. It's interesting to me. Kansas, little spoiler roll last week. BYU is in the playoff mix. I would imagine they have to keep winning to stay there. And let's take a look at Kansas, a 3-point dog against BYU. That seems like a low number for a team that is in the playoff field, 7th in the country, against Kansas at home here, over under 55.5.
Yeah, I think this one's been building for a while, Mike. I'm going to lean on Kansas here to get the job done. I think they beat BYU. I think they're a team who, if you've looked over the last 5 or 6 weeks, Kansas has really gotten going. They still are playing for something. They have 3 wins. If they win out the final 3 games, they're going to a bowl game. It all starts with winning this week. You're getting a team that's undefeated, that's really kind of been living on the edge. Kansas's offense has looked much better over the last 4 or 5 weeks. BYU also can't really stop the run. Kansas is going to lean on the run. They're going to keep the ball on the ground and out of the offense's hands. BYU's not look like the same team defensively. They got beat up on the ground against Oklahoma State. UCF was pretty effective and really probably should have lost last week against Utah. I was on Utah. Mike's one of my favorite plays of the season. For all that Utah has done, for as bad as that offense is, they probably should have lost BYU. They've kind of been circling the drain for a while. I think they lose this week finally, and Lance Leopold kind of gets that signature win as they march towards bowl eligibility. Throw in the fact, Mike, that BYU is a very public side. The number at some books has even dropped to 2.5. So this signals to me that while a lot of the bets are on BYU, a lot of the actual money, which is the higher end bets, are on Kansas. So I'm going to take Kansas +3. I think they beat BYU.
Oh, say you like the money line number better?
No, I'm going to take the 3 points. I think this could shake out a lot like maybe last week where, look, we've seen BYU over the last couple of weeks. They had a rally over the last 2 minutes to beat Oklahoma State. They had a rally over the last 2 minutes to beat Utah. This could shake out and be a push, but I think I'd much rather have the 3 points in my back pocket. I do think BYU will lose the game, but it's always nice to get a couple of points. Look, if this was 2.5, I'd probably lean on the money line, but getting a field goal, I'll take it.
2.5 right now, by the way, is the number at ESPN Bet. So BYU favored by 2.5 at ESPN Bet right now. So shop around, see what you got. By the way, Kansas, 6 straight games over. BYU, the over has hit 5 straight games. 55.5 is the number on that one. Jeff Nadeau, at Jeff Nadeau on Twitter X, and check out his Patreon page. And, of course, getting you ready for the game tonight. Commanders and the Eagles. Eagles favored by 3, so, they're the home team. They're getting 3. So the odds makers say this is a pretty even game. The opening line was 3.5. Here we are, over under 49.5. All right, Philly and Washington, you like this game tonight?
Yeah, I would say I do. I like the over, Mike. I'm going to go over 48.5. I've kind of talked about on some of the other stuff that I've done. I don't know that we've seen a full game from the Eagles offensively just yet. Yet again, they kind of struggled at times to move the ball in that first half against, or at least in the first quarter against the Dallas Cowboys. Did have 7 points, but there were times where, Jalen Hurts throws an interception, made some bad decisions. We haven't really seen a full game from them. They've scored 30 or more in 4 straight games. I think we probably see it again here. I don't think there's a particularly good Washington defense. The Eagles have been able to move the football, and I think their offense only continues to kind of shine. I also look at Jaden Daniels in that Cliff Kingsbury air raid offense. He's been very dynamic. He's been very accurate, hasn't made a lot of mistakes. I think the question is, this is going to come down really to Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, that secondary. Can they handle this passing attack? This is a damn good Washington offense. I think they will move the ball at a decent level. I felt like both these teams kind of get into the 20s. I thought this was like a 27-24, 30-24 type of game. You're under that key number of 49 as well, which is nice. If this falls, 28-21, we got a winner. So I'm going to lean on the over. Both these teams aren't particularly fast, but they're both pretty efficient for the most part, and both generally score touchdowns. That's the big thing with Vic Fangio, right? You don't mind giving up yards as long as you get stops in the red zone. Philadelphia's 10th in red zone offense, Washington 16th. So they're kind of middle of the road, but something tells me Vic's defense, struggles here. This is a damn good offense. This ain't Dallas or the Jets or something. This is a good offense. I see both teams scoring.
Keep your eye on the number. ESPN Bet 4. Some places 3.5. So kind of keep your eye on it as the kickoff approaches 8:15, and a little weather in the forecast.
And Mike,
could be raining. Yes, sir.
This game's really truly going to come down to the red zone. I mean, for as good as the Eagles, they've been damn good in the red zone. They're only allowing a touchdown about 42% of the time defensively, which is 3rd in the league. Washington in that same metric is allowing a touchdown 70% of the time, 30th in the league. So, if the Eagles play pretty well defensively in the red zone and don't break, they will win and cover. I do think they will win and cover at home. They haven't been at home much, but they've been good at home over the years. And Washington is a team that has struggled to get stops in the red zone. So I like the Eagles. I like the over.
All right. Check out Jeff for all of his stuff. Last week I called the Temple game and I texted you. I said, "Is that Jamal Mashburn's kid?" Let me tell you, that kid can play, man. Holy mackerel.
He's a really good guard. That's a nice get for Temple basketball. They haven't had a guard that good, I think, in a long. I mean, I probably go back to like Shiz Alston, the last good guard they had there. That's a nice hire and bring in for Adam Fisher. So yeah, nice performances so far for Temple.
Yeah, that was fun. They're good. When they get Greer playing too, when those two guys get rocking, that team should be fun. Temple basketball. All right, Jeff Nadeau, of course, every week right here with his favorite plays. There's 4 plays for you. Do what you want with them. But he's been giving you some winners here on the Sports Bash. Thank you, Jeff.
Appreciate it, Mike.
As always, Jeff Nadeau here on the Sports Bash Live, 97.3 ESPN, the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app, live video streaming on the X platform and on YouTube at Mike Gill Show. Check us out over there. We got plenty more to come, including Eagles, Commanders, the picks, all that and more on today's show here on the Sports Bash.
But first, I need caller number 7, 609-573-3776, 609-573-3776. Caller number 7. You're entered for this year's 99 Growlers Party, and that's happening at Mudhead Brewing Company, Rio Grande Avenue, Wildwood, November 27th. We'll have multiple tickets to huge events from all over the area. We'll have club box seats for maybe the biggest game in Philly the rest of the way. Eagles, Steelers, club box seats. Sixers tickets, Flyers tickets, concert tickets, shows from all over the area. We've got them. 99 Growlers, 99 qualifiers, 99 pairs of tickets at this year's 99 Growlers Party. 609-573-3776.
It's Sixers basketball tomorrow night on 97.3 ESPN with the voice of the Sixers, Tom McGinnis, calling all the exciting play-by-play action.
Jared McCain's going to have to do it himself. Into the lane, right-hand layup, up and good! He took it right down the lane!
It's Sixers Magic tomorrow night. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. It's Sixers basketball all season long on South Jersey's radio home for Philadelphia 76ers basketball. 97.3 ESPN.
The holidays are here at the Home Depot, so let's get to decorating. Find your perfect tree in our huge assortment of shapes, sizes, and styles. Like the easy-to-assemble Jackson Noble fir, with pre-lit branches perfect for styling with all your favorite ornaments. Or the Flock Starry Light Fraser fir, with over 1,900 pre-lit memory wire branches that keep their shape so it's ready right out of the box. Ooh. Find the perfect tree now at the Home Depot.
Tired of hearing no? Everywhere you go, we turn no into go during Matt Blatt Nissan's November sales event. Say no to high-priced new cars. Brand new Matt Blatt Nissan Sentra S, just $19,999. Say no to low trade offers. AJ the Trade Man wants your trade, no matter the make, miles, or condition. Say no to down payments. Say no to payments for 90 days. And say no to high interest rates. 60 months, 0% financing on every clearly marked new Nissan. Backed by Matt Blatt's 4-day love it or leave it return policy. Tired of hearing no to a discount on a new ride? New 25 Sentra S, under 20 grand.
Oh yeah, it's on at Matt Blatt Nissan.
Approved Tier 1 credit for NEMAC. Negative equity refinance. VIN number SY231649. MSRP 22,730 plus tax tag at $689.98. Offers can't be combined. 0% for 60 months. Call 877-289-667 or go to redblacknissan.com for complete details. Offer ends 12/5/24. It's on at Matt Blatt Nissan. The Black Horse Pipe. Egg Harbor Township.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppable bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppable, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. Terms and conditions apply.
Home of the Philadelphia Eagles.
They've got him. It's a sack.
Sixers.
Oh, baby.
And Flyers. 97.3 ESPN, WENJ, WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City, a Town Square media station serving all of South Jersey. 97.3 ESPN presents The Sports Bash with Mike Gill. It's time for Football at 4 with Andrew DeCecco, powered by the Inside the Birds podcast.
We're never satisfied. That hunger for more
that hunger for more. I have it. Everyone has it.
Now live, this is Football at 4.
Football at 4 is powered by the Inside the Birds podcast. It's brought to you by Birds. It's powered by the Inside the Birds podcast. It's brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. We are live at Chickies and Pete's, the official sports bar of the Philadelphia Eagles, getting ready for tonight's game. We just saw a bunch of football fans walking through the casino here, getting ready for the game tonight. We're getting you ready for the game now. Andrew DeCecco, staff reporter, content producer for InsideTheBirds.com. He'll be there tonight and getting you ready for the game. He joins us now on another edition of Football at 4. What's up, buddy? How are you? All is well, man, and, it finally feels good. The last 5 weeks have been a bunch of games that have been tough to kind of gauge who you are and get up for. But how different is it to have Washington for first place in the division, the buzz around this game tonight? Yeah, a lot at stake tonight. Washington, obviously, 7-3. A win for Philly would put them at 8-2, and that would drop 4 losses on Washington. So it's a big game for both these teams. Philadelphia, though, at home in this game tonight. Fully healthy, Andrew. Talk about a team in the 11th week of the season being healthy and having literally all 22 starters that they envisioned being on the field. Yeah, Andrew, so let's talk about that 2022 matchup, because that night Washington beat Philadelphia, and they did it by kind of playing keep away. They ran the ball all night long. That was that Taylor Heineke night, and they were able to do that. Can Washington, getting Brian Robinson Jr. back tonight and Austin Eckler, that run game, do you think that they can control the clock tonight against the Eagles' run defense? Yeah, he's a downhill kind of guy. That puts a lot of pressure on Zach Bond, Nakobe Dean tonight. What do you think? I think the main event tonight, get your take on this, Andrew, is Quinyon Mitchell and Terry McLaurin. McLaurin's had some big games against Philadelphia. He's their big key. But it almost is a calming feeling the way Quinyon Mitchell has played this year to say, hey, you got McLaurin? That's okay. Mitchell's on our side. All right, we're talking with Andrew DeCecco, football at 4, some of the matchups he's looking for. I know one thing that's going to be interesting. Last week, Andrew, Pittsburgh blitzed 53% of the time, and on 31% of those blitzes, they got pressure. 1 for 8, Jaden Daniels sacked him 3 times. I don't anticipate, get your opinion, that Vic Fangio is going to blitz 53% of the time. So how does he generate pressure to frustrate Daniels? Anything that makes you think that the secondary, they don't have Latimer, he's still hurt, he won't play tonight, they haven't had him since the trade. Anything that makes you think that that secondary can slow down the pass game? You know, the Eagles have been so good, Andrew, at taking shots down the field. They don't throw it a lot, 20 times last week. You know, this is a team that has thrown the ball the least in the NFL, yet they have the 6th most yards in the league. But is the big player there for them tonight? Yeah, you know, Andrew, one thing is, I think you tweeted about it this morning, the chess match between Fangio and their offense, Cliff Kingsbury. What Kingsbury has been able to do with what has been a pretty boring Washington offense in the past. All right, give me a worry tonight. What's something that you do have concern about? All right, there you go, buddy. Andrew DeCecco with Football at 4, breaking it all down on his way. He'll be at Lincoln Financial Field, InsideTheBirds.com. Their pregame, they'll have plenty more. And, of course, we'll be recapping it tomorrow with Adam Kaplan from
All right, Josh Hennick here on 97.3 ESPN. We'll get back to Mike Gill and Peachy over at Chickies and Pete's in just a moment as we try to reconnect with them. Andrew Checo, of course, Football at 4, powered by the Inside the Birds podcast. The Football at 4 each day brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. So Josh Hennig hanging out with you here on 97.3 ESPN as we try to reconnect with Mike and Pete over at Chickies and Pete's in Atlantic City. And, it's one of those deals where when you look around at this game tonight, this is a game tonight in which, as you heard Andrew talk about, he is very interested in how some of these matchups play out. And I kind of lean more to what Mike was saying more than what Andrew was saying personally. Because when I look at this situation, I look at this matchup between McLaurin and Mitchell as something that's very fascinating because of the fact that you have a situation
and safety information. Did you know millions of people are getting prescription medications for weight loss, sexual health, better sleep, and more, all online? RexMD.com has made getting these medications fast and easy, with free delivery of the most popular medications right to your door. Just fill out a brief survey, and if appropriate, we'll prescribe and ship clinically proven options to help with issues like weight loss.
I've lost 45 pounds so far. It's nice to get back into clothes that I haven't been able to wear for a long time.
We can also help with insomnia.
I slept through the whole night. It made me feel very well rested and ready to go for the day.
And RexMD can improve your sexual health.
I felt like a young man again. My wife is happier. I am definitely much happier.
At RexMD.com, we've made the process fast, easy, and affordable. Visit RexMD.com right now to get started. That's REXMD.com.
Here in New Jersey, it's one wow after another, after another, after another. I'm Chief Meteorologist Dan Zarrow. Our state's largest city is home to the state's largest museum, the Newark Museum of Art, featuring dozens of galleries exploring both art and science, a planetarium, sprawling sculpture garden, and the Animal Kingdom exhibit. The incredible Tibetan Buddhist altar is a must-see. The Newark Museum of Art is generally open Thursday through Sunday with special events throughout the year. Find your wow at visitnj.org. New Jersey, little state, lot of wow.
Warm up your holidays with JCPenney. From snuggly soft women's sweaters just $19.99 to festive family PJs now 40% off. Get ready for winter with all the comfy, feel-good layers you love. Wrap yourself in a warm faux mink throw, only $24.99. It's more cozy, bigger savings for you. JCPenney. Make it count. Offers valid on select styles through 11/21. Deals excluded from coupons. See store or jcp.com for details.
With GMF financing, qualified buyers excludes Traverse and Corvette excludes prior sales.
Why wait for Black Friday when the biggest Black Friday sale is going on now all month long at Bennett Chevrolet, where you can save up to 20% and more on your new vehicle, because Bennett is selling new vehicles at $1,000 below, yes, $1,000 below the real GM supplier employee price. Plus, you keep all the rebates, saving you up to 20%. But of course, there's more with available 0% financing. Looking for used? Bennett's giving a minimum $10,000, a minimum 10 grand for your trade, no matter its condition, towards any pre-owned in stock. Imagine what you'll get for a good trade if Bennett's paying a minimum 10 grand for total junk. Bennett's deals are unbeatable during our Black Friday sales event, and there's never any hassles or sales pressure, because our non-commissioned sales staff is paid on your satisfaction, not how much you spend. The best Black Friday sales going on now at Bennett Chevy, Egg Harbor Township, and BennettChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
The holidays are here at the Home Depot. Shop the wide selection of trees in any shape, size, or style. Find your perfect tree at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
This is the Town Square, New Jersey Info and Weather Network.
Progressive Insurance presents the Sports Flash on 97.3 ESPN. Thursday night football tonight, the Eagles home facing the Washington Commanders. Philadelphia on top of the NFC East at 7-2. They've won 5 straight games. Jalen Hurts has a touchdown pass and a touchdown run in 4 straight. Philadelphia number 2 in the NFL in rushing yards behind Saquon Barkley. The Commanders 28th defensively against the run. Washington 7-3, a half game back in the division. NBA, the Sixers in Orlando Friday. They'll take on the Magic. It begins a 3-game road trip. It'll include stops in Miami and Memphis. Philadelphia losing to Cleveland Wednesday night, 114-106, dropping to 2-9 on the season. Jared McCain scoring 34 points. Joel Embiid and Paul George sitting out the second of back-to-back games. And the Flyers are back on the ice tonight in Ottawa. They'll take on the Senators. Philadelphia has at least 1 point in their last 3 games, coming off a shootout win Monday against San Jose. I'm Tony Desiri, and that's your Sports Flash on 97.3 ESPN.
New Jersey is the Garden State. But did you know that one of the most important things we can farm is wind? Offshore wind provides clean, renewable energy. It creates jobs and drives economic growth. In fact, it's estimated that a single wind farm can create over 4,000 jobs and add more than $700 million to the state's economy. Offshore wind, propelling New Jersey's future. To learn more, visit nj.gov/offshore wind.
From the Town Square, New Jersey Info and Weather Network, I'm Chief Meteorologist Dan Zarrow. So close and yet so far, we'll see lingering clouds and maybe a sprinkle from a passing storm system tonight. But that said, in terms of rain potential right through the upcoming weekend, it'll be chilly overnight. Low temperature dips to 37.
Tomorrow, clouds to sun, turning breezy and a bit warmer, high 59. Saturday, sunny, breezy, high fire danger, but fairly mild, high jumps to 62. Get weather 24/7 wherever you are. Download our free mobile app today.
New Jersey might be small, but there's a lot of wow packed into this little state. We got your down at the beach wows, your top of the mountain wows, your show-stopping wows, your cork-popping wows. New Jersey, it's one wow after another after another. Find your wow at visitnj.org. New Jersey, little state, lot of wow.
We have the perfect solution for sitting in traffic.
Come with me.
The Sports Bash with Mike Gill on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
All right, Josh Hennick here, filling in for Mike Gill for a moment here on 97.3 ESPN as we reconnect with Mike. It figures that Eagles game day is so intense, people are so hyped, things are so nuts that Chickies and Pete's is just not accessible right now for us to get Mike Gill back on. But we still have Nick's Nuggets, and that is brought to you by Ocean Casino Resorts, Gallery Bar booking games in Atlantic City. Let's bring Nick Earnshaw in here on 97.3 ESPN. Nick, the good news is we still have you to talk to here on an Eagles game day. How hyped are you for Washington and Philadelphia tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a pretty good deal that you get me back here. But listen, Josh, I'm ecstatic for tonight's game. And this is a massive game in the division. And, we're going to get into the Nuggets just a second. But this is going to decide essentially who wins the division going forward. I mean, this is how big this game is. Thursday night, it's absolutely fantastic. I'm thrilled about tonight's game.
Yeah, so I believe we got Mike Gill back now. Mike, you got us?
I hear you. Yep. What do we have? Like some sort of outage over there?
Yeah, some sort of outage, I'm sure. But thanks to the people, the scrolls scrambling around, we restarted everything.
Yeah, we're over here at Chickies and Pete's in Atlantic City, and we thought maybe something happened over here. But alas, no, it wasn't us over here. It was you over there. But we're back.
Well, we had Mike for a minute, and then we lost him there, Nick. So
yeah, it's all right. It happens sometimes. It's radio, right? I mean, this is the beauty of live radio, live production elements. I mean, this is how it goes sometimes, right?
Yeah, absolutely does. So what was your first nugget for today, at least?
All right, first one, I thought Mike was maybe trying to ditch me a little bit here, and with Jared McCain's performance last night. Sixers obviously didn't have Joel Embiid or Paul George or Tyrese Maxey in last night's game, but Jared McCain was absolutely fantastic last night, Josh, and he was unreal. 34 points in last night's ball game. Unbelievable. Double-double in the game as well as his first start of his career. He has been fantastic. And, we talked before the season. Mike and I brought it up on the Nuggets a couple of times. I said, I think he's probably going to be in this rotation at some point, especially if he's hitting that outside shot. And boy, has he hit that outside shot for sure. And it's not even just three-point range. It's also the mid-range shot that has been huge for him. Jared McCain has come in and he looks confident. And I know people have talked about the TikToks, him painting his nails and all this stuff. And, they want to put it against him. But he's been great on the court. He has been the one lone bright spot for this 76ers organization because they've been an absolute mess to start this year. And to have the rookie come in and make a statement like he has the past few games, that's massive if he can be consistent throughout the entirety of the season. 34 points last night. This is someone who's going to be a regular in this rotation. He's going to take some of those veteran minutes. I totally believe it.
All right, so let me ask you this. If he's taking the veteran minutes, whose veteran minutes do you, Nick Earnshaw, want him to take?
Kyle Lowry, Eric Gordon, maybe a little bit. Dip into both of them, okay? Maybe not just one particular player, right? I think that's probably who he's taken. Listen, you need youth and exuberance out there, and that's what Jared McCain's going to bring you. They have a lot of old guys on this team. I mean, let's be real. They do. They have a lot of players who are up there in age at this point in their careers. Eric Gordon's a little older. Kyle Lowry's older. These are guys that are up there in the latter part of their careers. Jared McCain, you want some youth. You want to bring that energy off of the bench. He's a guy that could do that. And the last night he starts, obviously, barely anyone played. Andre Drummond didn't play. It felt like it was the G League team out there. But he is getting an opportunity, and he's showing that he belongs in the rotation. And you got to give credit, though, Josh, to Daryl Morey. He's drafted guys like Tyrese Maxey. He's drafted Jared McCain. These guys are coming in and making an impact right away. Now, is it going to be 34 points all the time? No, he's not going to get that type of run when Paul George and Maxey and all these guys come back. But yeah, I think he will take minutes from these vets. If that outside shot's consistent, that's a weapon now that you have to hit the three-point shot. And it was funny. The other night, 2 games ago, he talked about after the game, he understands how to play with Joel Embiid. It seemed really simple to him the way he was explaining it in his post-game press conference. So I am with the Jared McCain train. I'm all for it. I think he needs to get a lot of minutes and get an opportunity with the team, especially with everyone not playing.
See, part of my problem with all this, Nick Ershaw here for Nick's Nuggets here on 97.3 ESPN. Josh Hennig filling in for Mike Gill for a few minutes here. If you have a guy like McCain getting more minutes, let's say he continues to get minutes, right, for the next 2-3 weeks, right? Because we expect Maxey to miss the rest of the month. Well, what happens when Maxey gets back? Does McCain lose playing time? Do they create a new role for him? Like, who are you pulling out if, like, let's say McCain starts averaging, I'm just throwing out a number, 18 points a game for the next 3 weeks, right?
Okay.
Let's say he does that, Nick. What do you do when Maxey gets back?
I mean, you have to start Maxey. That's not a question. Maxey has to
I didn't say Maxey. I said the veterans.
Well, that doesn't matter. Who cares? Who cares? If he's taking a guy like, I don't know, Kyle Lowry, KJ Martin, Reggie Jackson, Eric Gordon. I mean, for some reason, Jeff Dowling Jr. is getting minutes at this point, which is crazy to me. But I think he's got to take the Lowry minutes, the Gordon minutes. He's got to take them away, in my opinion. I mean, that's where he's at right now. If he continues to be consistent, that's what needs to happen.
What are you talking about, McCain now?
We're talking about. We got you, Mike. I thought you were ducking me on the McCain talk. I mean, he's been playing unbelievable here.
Hey, listen, he is about the one reason. He would be the one reason why you can have some sort of glimmering hope for this season to be something. As I said many times, this team's going to make the playoffs. I'm not worried about them not making the playoffs. It's not that they're not going to make the playoffs. It's will they have the continuity? But if this kid can actually play at this level, he's not going to score 30 points a game, 25 points a game. The question is, how do they fit him in? Last night, Nick Nurse did admit, we're going to have to, find playing time for him. He's earned that opportunity to get playing time. So I'm interested to see, do they start those two guys together? They're both kind of small. How do they get those guys timed together? Because it's evident that McCain, even if you say, look, this guy has to play just because he can shoot. I mean, he gives you a guy that can shoot the three. But it's more than that. He can create. He can do things. He can absolutely be a help to this team. Now, the continuity thing, I don't know how that's going to change or work out over the season, but hey, this guy they found another guy in the back end of the draft, after the 15th spot, he got drafted 16th, that can play.
Yeah, I mean, listen, and what's great is when he's in transition, right? He's not going to turn the ball over as much because he has the confidence to take those shots. I love him. Let him fly. Honestly, let him do that. And, right now he's about 38.5% from beyond the arc at the moment. The mid-range is there too. He could take it to the rack if he needs to, and he looks like he has a nice touch around the rim. It's fantastic. I mean, Jared McCain, if he can be consistent, he has to take playing time away from Kyle Lowry, away from guys like KJ Martin, Reggie Jackson, Eric Gordon, Jeff Dowling Jr. for some reason still in the rotation at this point. He's got to take minutes away from those guys. Now, he doesn't have to take a full spot, but if he takes pieces of everybody's minutes, I think you can find him in the rotation. Now, playing alongside Maxey, that's a little tough because they're similar players. The defensive liability there, don't love that. So I think if he's coming off the bench and getting 20 minutes a game around there at least, I think that's a solid pickup if he's able to stay consistent.
Yeah, I would imagine the Dalton minutes, which I agree. I don't know why he's getting minutes. He
I don't know
really
either.
Offer much for me. And so to me, yeah, that's like 15 to 20 minutes a game that probably now slide to, say, Kyle Lowry and then McCain. I don't know how they're going to figure out how to does he start together with Maxey? Does he come off the bench? Maxey's limits certainly don't get they don't suppress his minutes. So how do you figure out ways to get those two guys together? How do you figure out ways to, okay, is he going to start? Is he going to come off the bench? I don't know how they're going to figure that out. Now, Maxey's out for a couple more weeks. I would imagine McCain has to stay in the starting lineup now.
Has to.
And while Maxey's out, and my reasoning for that is McCain is the closest thing you have to Maxey. So at least give George and Embiid, whenever they do play,
when they play,
the opportunity to play with McCain so they get some continuity with him.
Yeah, and I was telling Josh before you guys got back, like, with McCain, I mean, you heard him the other night, even after the loss against the Knicks. He understands how to play with Embiid. Like, his basketball IQ is also there, and I think that's very important to know what your role is playing alongside the stars as a rookie. I mean, that shows a lot of maturity at this point. I mean, I know we're like 10 games into the season. It's so early. It's still November, but if he's showing that type of maturity and he understands how to play with Embiid, and it's clicking, then you got to leave him in. You got to give him those minutes. I understand veterans like Lowry, Eric Gordon have been around for a long time, but he's the hot hand. He's the guy you're going to be building with for the next few seasons. You might as well give him some run.
Yeah, and I'm not worried about that. I think that Nurse said it last night, like, all right, we're going to have to play this guy. He's definitely earned that opportunity. So I think that he saw it. We all see it. I can't imagine, hey, this guy scored 20, 25, 30. He's been the best offensive player you got, and they're going to say, okay, back to the bench. I don't see that happening.
No, I mean, I think now McCain can be the running mate with Embiid when things aren't going well, when Max is on the bench, second quarter, early fourth quarter.
Well, and it should give the team, like, one guy always that can score on the floor, because you could play Maxey. If you take Maxey off the floor, McCain's on the floor. If you take McCain off the floor, Maxey's on the floor. So you have four guys now that can score: Maxey, McCain, George, and Embiid. So it gives you now the opportunity to always have two of those guys together, you hope.
Yeah, and that's what it feels like. And this would be a massive addition when those guys get healthy, when Paul George and Joel Embiid actually step on the floor, and you have a guy like McCain. You could maybe play a little bit of that J.J. Redick type role as well, come off the dribble. I like what I see from that. So from that standpoint, it's going to be fascinating to watch what McCain's able to do. All right, moving along, nugget number 2. Let's stay with the Sixers real quick. Mike, I know you're a big fan of uniforms, jerseys. You love all types of different colors, jerseys, whatever it may be. The Sixers come out with a new City Edition, clean. It reverts back to the Spectrum days from 67 to 96. That's when the Sixers were at the Spectrum. It's a second edition of the Spectrum uniforms, all white unis with the Spectrum kind of logo on the side. Mike, did you like the new uniforms? I know you're a big fan of all these City Edition, City Connect type of things that come out every year.
Well, I generally have not liked the Sixers City Connect uniforms. The one that I did like was the Spectrum one, and I like this white one. I do like the Spectrum homage to the Spectrum, little hat tip to them. I do like the white here for the home games. You wear white when you're at home, not blue. They were the blue ones the last time. I like those blue ones, though, but not for a home game. The white for the home game with the Spectrum logo kind of down the side. For the people who remember the old Spectrum, they had like an orange, green, blue, different colors, and they're incorporating that down the sides of the uniform. I like how they kept the uniform red, white, and blue and just kind of threw that in there as a little hat tip to
the Spectrum.
The Spectrum. Different from the Phillies' monstrosity uniforms that went blue and yellow that had no ties to the team. This one at least had a little tie to the team, keeps their red, white, and blue, and goes back to their old logo from the original building that they played in.
Well, I thought that they were going to go back to the blacks, the throwback blacks.
I think they're in the plans for down the road. And I don't know if it's a City Edition. It might be. There's so many different editions. The City Edition, this edition.
They're running out of ideas. They're running out of colors. They're running out of ideas.
You might see the old Iverson ones come back at some point. I think that's been the talk that might be in the plan for somewhere. They're going to wear these 13 games, I think.
Yes, and everyone wants those Iverson era jerseys to come back too. I think that's like the Kelly Green with the Eagles. People want to see these black jerseys come back for the 76ers. I happen to like the City Edition. I think this might be the best one they've come out with. No doubt about it. The white, the slick, the Spectrum throwback. It's the best. Now, if you had to choose, Mike, I know you're not a jersey guy. Pete, I don't know about you either. But
he's got
the Kelly Green on.
Kelly Green on today.
He got the jersey on. I couldn't see it. All right, great. He's a jersey guy, Mike. We got two jersey guys on this radio show right now. That's absolutely fantastic. All right. So if you had to choose a player right now of the monstrosity, using your word, Mike, from this Sixers team this season, what jersey are you going with the new City Editions? I got to go Jared McCain. I got to get on my order, up, buy it, go to the nosebleeds, wear my Jared McCain jersey. That's what I got to do when I get home tonight.
It's kind of hard not to go McCain. I mean, he's the youngest guy on the team. He's going to most likely be here, for the next 4, 5, 6 years. You feel pretty good about that. I mean, him, Maxey's another guy who just signed a long-term deal. I mean, Embiid obviously, feels like the guy now that people are kind of bored of, that, hey, we've seen this, done this. Don't ever get bored of Embiid. Be frustrated by Embiid, but don't ever get bored of getting the opportunity to watch him play when he's at his best. But, yeah, Jared McCain right now is winning everybody over. I saw people in the crowd last night already with the McCain jerseys, and I have to imagine those sales are going to go up big time because, hey, he's the only thing to cheer about right now. He's the one guy out there that is exciting, he's fun, and he's new.
Yeah, I think it's the easy way to go. Maxey, I think, is another one that would be popular. I feel like everyone already has. If you don't have an Embiid jersey at this point, I don't know what you're doing if you're a jersey guy or girl.
Well, 21 is my number, what I wore in mostly everything that I played. So another reason why the Embiid jersey for me is partial, because of the number that he actually wears.
Yeah, all right. I have to go McCain. Mike's going to go Embiid. Pete, which one are you going?
I'll go McCain.
All right.
I mean, he's just so much fun to watch. I love his TikToks.
You do like the TikToks.
I do like those TikToks.
He's got good TikToks. He's got great TikToks. He's a social media star.
Unapologetic, man. He's just fun.
It's fun. It's everyone's smiling. Maxie's smiling. They're all in good moods all the time. You gotta love. You gotta support.
He's just like you, Earnshaw. He's a Gen Zer.
Oh, we love the Gen Zers. I gotta support the Gen Zers, obviously.
Apparently, they're going to have an update on Maxey on Friday. So tomorrow we might get some sort of update on Maxey. Although he was on the bench last night, he didn't look too mobile walking off the bench last night. When
he was like at the Knicks game, he felt like Coach Maxey. He was out there like coaching against the Knicks.
Yeah, I mean, he was there last night, and he's like the first guy off the bench when they come to a timeout, but he looked like he's still a little stiff.
Yeah, Thanksgiving, it's been like kind of the rumors and speculation at this point. I don't know. It's wait and see. We'll find out on Friday, but McCain's been filling in nicely, even though they keep losing.
I just want to see a win in regulation. This team has not won a game in regulation yet.
No, and 2-9 they are now?
2-9.
2-9. 11 games in.
Hey,
all right.
This is a hole that they're going to have to start to dig out of. Just think, if they go on a 7-game win streak, they're only 500.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great right now. But Jared McCain's been the lone bright spot, and now you get the new City Edition jersey, I guess, is another addition to this team. All right, let's move along. Nugget number 3. Story coming out on ESPN. Tim McManus talking about a meeting that happened around the bye week with Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson, and Lane Johnson. They met with Nick Sirianni. They went into his office, and they made their pitch, according to Tim McManus in this ESPN article, that they needed to shift to a more run-oriented, offensive line-dependent attack on the offensive side of the ball, and they kind of have. The coaches listen a little bit. I mean, this is essentially reverting back to the Steichen year when Steichen took over the play calling, and with that, the Eagles have scored 28 or more points in 4 straight games. That's the first time they've done that since 2017. So that meeting clearly has worked.
Yeah, I mean, I did read the article, by the way, and Sal Palantonio is going to join us at 5:30 to give us some more insight on it. The fact that Mailata, Dickerson, and Lane Johnson went in there and basically said something that I've been saying. Coach, we have Brown, we have Smith, we got the Barkley, but we're the star of this team. Let's go back to that. And they basically said that's what they think that they're better at, is running the football. And I thought the key part of the article was that this is what Jalen Hurts wants as well. They said he doesn't care about throwing the ball 30, 35 times. He wants to win, and that this is the way that he envisions the offense working as well. So that's a key part of all this. And, look, all the heat that Nick Sirianni has taken is that Sirianni sat there, listened, and didn't push back. And, it's not to say, well, he's the coach. Don't listen to the players. If you think your players have something to add to help you win, especially veteran players like Lane Johnson when he gets involved, and to take their information and do something with it as opposed to just saying, nah, you guys are players, I'm coaching this team. He took the stuff and implemented it, and it's working.
Yeah, I mean, this is the type of stuff that starts winning Sirianni back. And if he keeps winning, then, I don't think people will be as mad with him anymore. I mean, everything goes away when you're winning. I mean, that is the cure-all, the be-all. And that's what they're doing. And, you go out and sign a guy like Saquon Barkley. They should have been doing this in the first place anyway, because, they spent a lot of money on a running back of his caliber. You need to utilize him with the offensive line you do have. I know you lose Jason Kelce, but this is still a very good offensive line overall. So I don't know why I had to take this long and had to take a meeting, walking into the coach's office to figure this out. But I'm glad the players stepped up. And credit to Sirianni, though, for listening to his players, because sometimes people have egos and coaches have egos and players have egos, and it could turn into a dumpster fire. They took it. He took the criticism and implemented it, and he listened to his players. And that's why I think so many players come out and defend him all of the time, because he will listen to them.
Well, and I will say, you have A.J. Brown, you have Devontae Smith. It is difficult to just say, I'm not going to use those guys.
And those guys get paid handsomely.
Yeah, in a passing league, when you pay your quarterback $250 million and you pay your two receivers the money you pay them, it's hard to say in your head, we're not going to use these guys. So good for them for taking the information and listening.
To your question, Nick, I wanted to ask all three of you, because, Nick, you brought up the fact that why weren't you doing this in the first place? Well, whose decision do you guys think it was? Because we have been told it's Kellen Moore's offense. He's calling the plays. Jalen Hurts saying that 90% of the playbook is different, right? If all of this was supposed to be a Kellen Moore thing, then what happened weeks 2, 3, and 4? Did Kellen Moore just get away from it? What do you guys think happened?
Well, keep in mind, A.J. Brown wasn't there, so it's even more confounding why they wouldn't have utilized, this style of offense a little bit more, saying, okay, we don't have him for a couple of weeks here. Let's try to run the football. I think Kellen Moore, just like I said, look, I got A.J. Brown, I got Devontae Smith, I got Jalen Hurts. Let's see what we can do with this offense, and I think this league is a passing league. Everybody wants to throw the ball. But the Eagles offensive line said, whoa, we got Saquon Barkley. We paid him too, and we like to run block. We think we can do a lot more off of play action if we run the ball better, and we've seen that. They've only had to throw the ball 20 times last week, 14 the 1 week, I think 20 the week before that in this little stretch here.
Yeah, and it goes back, though, to the offseason. Remember, it was reported, there were reports out there that the Eagles viewed Saquon Barkley in the same way the 49ers viewed Christian McCaffrey. So I understand they have A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and they're paying all these guys all that money. But if you're using him in that sense and you view him that way, I feel like they should have implemented it a little bit sooner, and they should have ran the ball a little bit more.
Well, listen, and those guys have Deebo Samuel and Ayuk, and they have McCaffrey. There's a way to make it all work. You just got to try to figure it out, and it feels like the Eagles did that. They got to a point now where they're okay featuring Barkley and then opening up things down the field for the two receivers.
Well, Saquon, too, after the game, if you recall, he said the first 4 games, those guys kind of treated it like the preseason. That they didn't play in the preseason, obviously. And the first 4 games, they kind of treated it like, it was the preseason.
Yeah, and tonight it's a massive go
say that,
for the for the NFC East. It's going to be a fascinating one tonight. I'm looking forward to it. Mike, Pete, Josh, that's a 3-pack of nuggets for you today on this Thursday afternoon. Glad you could join us.
All right. Yes, we are here at the beautiful Chickies and Pete's in Atlantic City. This might be the nicest one of all the Chickies and Pete's. And you want to stop by tonight for the Eagles and the Commanders. Plus, they got the Flyers tonight, and you got all sorts of college basketball, hockey, and everything else that's going on right here at Chickies and Pete's in Atlantic City. It is the official sports bar of the Philadelphia Eagles, and we're here, of course, on the Sports Bash Thursday, getting you ready for the Eagles and Commanders. It's never too early to book your holiday party at Chickies and Pete's. Book now for November or January and get a party upgrade. Visit chickiesandpete's.com. More Sports Bash coming up when we return next hour on the Sports Bash. It's One Thought every game. Casey Joyner from The Athletic joins us. But right now, I need caller 7, 609-573-3776, 609-573-3776. Caller number 7. You are qualified for this year's 99 Growlers party. It's all happening at Mud Hen Brewing Company, Rio Grande Avenue in Wildwood. Caller 7, 609-573-3776, 609-573-3776. Caller 7, you are entered for this year's 99 Growlers party. We've got 99 pairs of tickets. That means every single person that enters wins a pair of tickets. You must be present to win. If you want to win the tickets to see the Eagles play the Steelers at the Link, Sixers tickets, Flyers tickets. We got great concert tickets and shows from all over South Jersey and the Philadelphia area. 609-573-3776. Good luck.
This is South Jersey's official home for Philadelphia Eagles football. The Eagles continue the 2024 season on Thursday Night Football, hosting their NFC East rivals, the Washington Commanders.
He is going deep down the far side of the field.
Pre-game coverage starts at 7 p.m. with Merrill Reese and Mike Quick calling all the action starting at 8:15. This is the play-by-play home of the Philadelphia Eagles, 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's Eagles station.
Tired of hearing no? Everywhere you go, we turn no into go during the Black Nissan's November sales event. Say no to high-priced new cars. Brand new Matte Black Nissan Sentra S, just $19,999. Say no to low trade offers. AJ the Trade Man wants your trade, no matter the make, miles, or condition. Say no to down payments. Say no to payments for 90 days. And say no to high interest rates. 60 months, 0% financing on every clearly marked new Nissan. Backed by Matt Black's 4-day love it or leave it return policy. Tired of hearing no to a discount on a new ride? New 25 Sentra S, under 20 grand.
Oh yeah, it's on at Matt Black Nissan.
On through tier 1 credit for Matt. Negative equity refinance. Number SY231649. MSRP 2273 plus tax tag at $689.98. Offers can't be combined 0% for 60 months. Call 877-289-6670 or go to MattBlackNissan.com for complete details. Offer ends 12/5/24. It's on at Matt Black Nissan on the Black Horse Pike. Egg Harbor Township.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large, because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care. And here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. For many families, joining MediShare means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people, obviously. But what's more, MediShare members like it. Their satisfaction rate is 98%. Imagine that. And MediShare is a proven thing, too, for over 30 years. It's a Christian community of hundreds of thousands of people now. And here's the thing. If you join before November 15th and you mention the promo code SHARE, they'll waive your application fee, so you save even more right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call and you'll get a price within 2 minutes. And again, the deadline is November 15th. So call now. You'll save even more. Here's the number, 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE, 855-51-BIBLE.
Warm up your holidays with JCPenney. From snuggly soft women's sweaters just $19.99 to festive family PJs now 40% off. Get ready for winter with all the comfy, feel-good layers you love. Wrap yourself in a warm faux mink throw, only $24.99. It's more cozy, bigger savings for you. JCPenney. Make it count. Offers valid on select styles through 11/21. Deals excluded from coupons. See store or jcp.com for details.
Tune in to the Bet365 Play of the Day during the Sports Bash with me, Mike Gill, every weekday afternoon at 5:45 on 97.3 ESPN. Made possible by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Prescription products require completion of an online consultation with an independent healthcare provider and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Additional restrictions apply. See website for more details and safety information.
Did you know millions of people are getting prescription medications for weight loss, sexual health, better sleep, and more, all online? RexMD.com has made getting these medications fast and easy, with free delivery of the most popular medications right to your door. Just fill out a brief survey, and if appropriate, we'll prescribe and ship clinically proven options to help with issues like weight loss.
I've lost 45 pounds so far. It's nice to get back into clothes that I haven't been able to wear for a long time.
We can also help with insomnia.
I slept through the whole night. It made me feel very well rested and ready to go for the day.
And RexMD can improve your sexual health.
I felt like a young man again. My wife is happier. I am definitely much happier.
At RexMD.com, we've made the process fast, easy, and affordable. Visit RexMD.com right now to get started. That's REXMD.com.
Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you watch a movie and then ask a zillion questions because you weren't paying attention? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. At Mattress Firm's Black Friday sale, get a king for the price of a queen and a free adjustable base with select Sealy beds, all with a low price guarantee. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
The holidays are here at the Home Depot. If you're working on getting ready for company,
a lot of company,
make sure you're ready with Black Friday savings. Get up to 40% off select appliances, plus up to an extra $1,000 off select kitchen appliances. Upgrade your kitchen with top brands like GE Profile and get sleek cutting-edge appliances to make sure you
got hosting handled.
Yeah, you do. Get Black Friday savings now with free delivery and financing on select appliances this holiday at the Home Depot. Offer valid November 6th through December 4th. U.S. only. See store or online for details.
With GMF financing, qualified buyers excludes Traverse and Corvette excludes prior sales.
Why wait for Black Friday when the biggest Black Friday sale is going on now all month long at Bennett Chevrolet, where you can save up to 20% and more on your new vehicle, because Bennett is selling new vehicles at $1,000 below, yes, $1,000 below the real GM supplier employee price. Plus, you keep all the rebates, saving you up to 20%. But of course, there's more with available 0% financing. Looking for used? Bennett's giving a minimum $10,000, a minimum 10 grand for your trade, no matter its condition, towards any pre-owned in stock. Imagine what you'll get for a good trade if Bennett's paying a minimum 10 grand for total junk. Bennett's deals are unbeatable during our Black Friday sales event, and there's never any hassles or sales pressure, because our non-commissioned sales staff is paid on your satisfaction, not how much you spend. The best Black Friday sales going on now at Bennett Chevy, Egg Harbor Township, and BennettChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Home of the Sports Bash with Mike Gill, 97.3 ESPN.
Ooh, that's good.
WENJ, WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City. This is the Sports Bash with Mike Gill on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app. Now live from inside the Ocean Casino Resort Studio, here's Mike Gill.
For the future, it would be Jaden Daniels. Right now, I'm going Jalen Hurts because of the experience and some of the things that he's been able to go through up until this point. And you look at the last 5 games, he's been tremendous. He's not turning the football over, really orchestrating the offense. I think what's imperative about this team, the Eagles right now, is that they're playing through Saquon. Look at the last 5 games and the pass attempts that Jalen Hurts has had. No more than 25. So that's telling me they're being meaningful in their pass selection.
That was Harry Douglas. He says he would take Jalen Hurts over Jaden Daniels right now. They're going to face off for the first time tonight. Thursday Night Football, you can listen to it on 97.3 ESPN. There's Casey Joyner from The Athletic. And, of course, Casey Joyner is brought to you by Elite Acura. Score incredible savings all month long at Elite Acura on Route 73 in Maple Shade. Online at EliteAcura.com. We're live at Chickies and Pete's in Atlantic City at the Trop, the official sports bar of the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles will be on tonight. It's going to be Hurts and it's going to be Daniels. Casey Joyner through 9 games so far. Which quarterback's playing better this year?
Overall, it's got to be Hurts. And they do different things than there are Daniels. Daniels was playing great early. When he got that rib injury a few weeks ago, he's not been the same. He's not running quite as often. He's not running quite as effectively. He's not passing quite as often. And he's probably, when I say healthy, I mean, as in, are you banged up and not on the injury report? You'll definitely play, so they have to list you, or are you actually like really considering to be healthy? And I'll bet he's still a little bit banged up and such. And I think teams are thinking he's banged up because they've been trying to get a lot of blitz pressure on things. So, but right now it's still got to be Hurts because Hurts is hitting the big plays, big passes. And again, what he's doing on the ground, his production hasn't dropped off, and Daniels has. So I'll take Hurts.
All right, so Hurts, is a couple of years older than Daniels. He's obviously got 4 years now doing this. What is his role in this offense? And, they only throw the ball 20 times. They're 6 in total yards. They have the least amount of pass attempts in the league. What makes this offense go?
The funny thing is, with all the yards and all the points they're getting, I mean, one of his things right now is to avoid sacks, if I'm honest about it, because they've allowed 13 sacks in the last 4 games. Eagles having a 29th pass pressure rate. So to get his mobility to be able to say, look, if we get, because Washington has some decent pass rushes, to say, hey, if we start to throw the ball, he needs to be able to create some things in there. But his role right now is, I think a lot of it is to make sure that we're getting the right fronts and we're doing the right things that, with running the football, because, you got to make some adjustments there too. But I think his whole thing is to, when they ask him to make those over the top plays, to avoid that pass rush and hit those big passes, because again, they're not throwing the ball a ton, but they're getting, as we talked about on Tuesday, they're getting big plays in the passing game when they do decide to go vertical. And that's a formula that's worked in the NFL for its entire history. If you can run the ball well and throw vertical, you're going to win games.
Let's talk some about the matchups here. You've got the Washington rushing attack. I think it's a little underrated. Brian Robinson Jr. will play tonight. He's a downhill runner. The Eagles' defensive front and their linebackers, Zach Bond and Nakobe Dean. This is going to be an interesting test there. Who do you like in that one? The downhill rushing attack of Washington or the Eagles' rush defense?
The Eagles right now, their defense, I just didn't finish my charts for my subscribers, and I had to double and triple check the numbers for Eagles. I'm like, really? They're this good? They're the best defense in the league right now, at least advanced metric wise. I mean, they're first in fantasy points allowed to running backs over the past 4 weeks, and they're first. Like, they're 8.57. Next is 9.13, and then you get into 10 points for the next team. They're just shutting teams down. I think they're dictating what's happening on the ground. Teams are trying to run them, they're not letting them, and some competition, but. As good as Robinson's been, I think Washington's run blocking has been inconsistent this year. So I think that the Eagles will be able to keep Robinson in check. Eckler as well, they can use as a change of pace, so they don't have to lean too heavy on Robinson if they don't want to. But even with having a two-headed back system set up like that, I think the Eagles are going to be able to set the line of scrimmage back a little bit. And I wonder, though, if Washington's going to Daniels, because again, they haven't been doing it quite as much, and I think that if I'm Washington, I want to get him involved in the planned rushing attack, not just scramble some things, but get him involved in a planned rushing attack, because that's going to maybe give something to the Eagles to make them a little bit more, and then you can maybe run inside better.
Yeah, and then you take a look at Terry McLaurin. What do you like of? What do you think about the matchup between McLaurin and Quinyon Mitchell? You got a rookie against one of the better receivers in the league. This is going to be a big challenge for him, but is it a challenge that he can't overcome?
In the last 4 weeks per Pro Football Reference, 15 targets, 10 completions, only 80 yards allowed. That's 8 yards per completion, a really good number. 5.3 yards per target, a really good number. 4.5 PR points per game for measurement from fantasy perspective. You can go a bunch of different advanced metrics. He's playing shutdown right now. The thing is, Cooper DeJean's playing shutdown. Rogers playing shutdown. Darius Slay's back to 5.9. Even CJ Gardner-Johnson, who's been kind of hit or miss, even he's 8.5 yards per target, which is not great, but it's not bad. You'll take it. There's nobody in the Eagles secondary right now. When I'm looking at their advanced metrics, go, is anybody the Washington can target? So this is a really favorable matchup? No, even if they move McLaurin around and they get him on some, it doesn't matter. None of the matchups are matchups that if I'm Washington, I'm going, yeah, that's somebody to go after. And that makes it very tough because then instead of attacking a matchup, you're trying to attack a scheme. And since the Eagles, and now you're limiting what Washington could do because now they're having to, you can if a team wants to attack scheme, you can do things on defense to make them funnel a particular way. And I think it's going to help the Eagles tonight.
Casey Joyner, one thought every game. Philadelphia, they like to run the ball. They run the ball a ton. Last week, 38 times. They get the lead. They run the ball. That's kind of what they've been doing here. But tonight, should they feature the run against this Washington defense?
Last 4 weeks, Washington is 28th in fantasy points allowed to running backs, or actually on planned rushing plays. That includes quarterback runs. 122 rushes, 551 yards, 4.5 yards per carry, 5 rushing touchdowns. Not a defense that stops the run very well. They're better at stopping the pass. They've got some good pass coverage numbers as well. Noah Igbinoghene, I love that name, 3.2 yards per target. You've got same results. But the thing is, same result at 7.7, Benjamin St. Juste at 8.5. You've got Jeremy Chin at 9, Quan Martin at 10. You've got some targets there in the passing game, and the Eagles will want to take care of that. But the Eagles have shown this year, and thankfully, I say this as somebody who's a run the damn ball advocate. If they see a defense that they can run the ball against, they'll run the ball instead of trying to get cute. I don't think they get cute tonight, especially in a short week. I think they're going to go after that Washington run defense. And again, they're getting shoved around, and the Eagles' deep offenses kind of can shove you around.
Yeah, that's the big thing there. They're shoving people around up front. They are committing to the run, but they're also adding a lot more play action, and the big play has been there. And it would seem this secondary is vulnerable.
Yeah, it is. They have some weaknesses. It definitely in there. They're 20th in tight end points per game over the last 4 weeks. Vertical points per game, those aren't terrible numbers, but they're not. If you look at it for Eagles, you go, okay, we're not going to avoid those matchups. And just mention some of the players that they have. Again, you're talking, and you only have one player, and Igbinoghene is the only player in their secondary who's seen a good volume of targets, who's got a good yards per target. Everybody else is either in the best 7 at Chambersville. I'm a Michigan guy. I like him and all, but again, he's got 23 targets thrown to him in the last 4 weeks. So he's the guy teams go to, but they go at St. Juste as well. And if I'm the Eagles, I'm just looking and saying, look, I'm just going to avoid Igbinoghene if I can, which means they would probably avoid, if that's the case, he's slot guy. He probably covers Dotson. So it's not a big loss if you've got him there. So like I said, if I'm the Eagles, I don't have any problem with going in the air if I want to run the ball more often, but there's not a matchup right now in the air that the Eagles I'm really concerned about.
Well, it's going to be fun. 53% of the time last week, Pittsburgh sent the blitz. We know Vic Fangio doesn't like to do that. So what's his defensive scheme tonight to keep Jalen Daniels down?
That's the thing. The Eagles in the past 4 weeks, blitzes per dropback, 11.6%. It's tied for the lowest in the league in that span, and yet they're still – 5th in sack rate. They have 14 sacks and they're 16th in pass pressure rate. So we really don't need to send a lot of people. Having said that, the Commanders 4 weeks, they're 6th in sack pressure and sack percentage allowed, and they're 13th in pass pressure rate. And they faced a blitz a lot, 41.6% of the time. It's one of the highest blitz rates over the past 4 weeks, blitzes per dropback. So and the other thing is that their average time to throw over the past 4 weeks, 3.14 seconds. That means that Washington's letting him try and throw a lot of passes, and teams are trying to blitz him out of it. That's the matchup on the Eagles that I worry about, because if they can't get pass pressure and they do let him sit back there for 3 or more seconds, as good as your secondary is, every secondary falls apart eventually. And if I'm the Eagles also, though, I want to keep him in the pocket. I don't want him scrambling. I don't want to try and make plays and run. Just let him stay in the pocket. Make sure he stays there and try and collapse that pocket, but let him stay there, because I don't want him going out and challenging people and trying to make some big plays like that, because he can make plays on the run. And if I'm the Eagles, it's the one thing I'm like, nope, you're going to stay in that pocket and try and go. I want him, if I'm the Eagles, I want him to at least have to throw on time and not get that extra time. You throw on time and go against our matchups. We like our matchups. I don't want to give him extra time.
All right, let's get into it. One thought every game. Casey Joyner from The Athletic. Got a good slate this week. Some interesting games, including our first one on Sunday. Takes us to Chicago, where the Bears have fired their offensive coordinator. Green Bay trying to stay in the NFC North race and the wild card race.
Yeah, Chicago, that offense was just atrocious the past few weeks. I'm just, it's excruciatingly bad. You look at their advanced metric, and I can't believe 142 yards against the Patriots, who are a good defense, but not that good. I don't think I think that the Bears defense is still pretty good, and the Packers offense is kind of taking a bit of a step back, and maybe Love throws some picks, but I don't think that if the Bears put up 13 points, I'd be shocked. I'm taking the Pack big.
One thought every game. Jacksonville's been pesky, but they can't get wins. Can they find one in Detroit?
They have been pesky and such, but Detroit, think about it, last week, 5 interceptions, they still find a way to win. They can run the ball exceptionally well. Jacksonville is just terrible at stopping the run, by the way. I mean, 169, 237, and 170 yards over the past 3 weeks. I think this is a huge game for Gibbs and Montgomery. And mind you, the Jaguars also have a turnover-prone offense. And if I'm the Lions, though, right now, you know what I want? I want Jared Goff throwing 14 passes. I want to run the ball 40 times. I just want to get those 5 interceptions out of his head. I don't even want him throwing the ball just so he clears his mind of that. So I think they run the ball big and win the game big.
All right, one thought every game. Minnesota on the road, Tennessee. They had a tough rock fight last week with Jacksonville. Is it a similar battle with Tennessee?
Yeah, rock fight. I love that term. I think they can. Minnesota's offense is kind of struggled. You think put up 12 points, and again, you've got Hockenson back. He's playing solidly right now. He's finally shook off the rust. You've got Jones, you've got Jefferson, you've got Addison, and you have Sam Darnold. But the thing is, the Vikings, if the Tennessee has any path to victory, it's due to turnovers, because the Vikings have 6 giveaways the past 2 weeks, and Darnold is getting back to his. In fact, they have 6 games this year. They have 2 or more turnovers, so that's their problem. But I mean, it's Will Levis versus the Brian Flores defense. I can't see it happen. I'm taking the Vikings.
I agree with that comment right there at the end. Vegas and Miami. Miami, they win on the road last week. They get to come home. They have Tua back. Is this the start of something against a Raiders team that seems like the season is a little too long for them?
I did an analysis for The Athletic this week and looked at how many times the Dolphins are facing defenses that have what they call middle of the field open, which is where you get 2 safeties, but you got a big space in the middle of the field. You should be able to run post routes. And I looked at that and said, how many times is Tyreek Hill running post routes? They're having Tyreek Hill run post routes, and they're not throwing them to him. It's like he's not either not getting open or whatever it is. He's taking a step back. So if that's the case, and he's no longer the big play threat, or at least a Tua can't get to him, that's a big issue for the Dolphins long term. But they're stopping the run well. I still think they've got a really good ground game, and the Raiders have a ton of problems. I'll still take Tua over Gardner Minshew.
Rams lost at home last week. They're going to New England this week. Can the Patriots win again and kind of knock the Rams out of this wild card chase?
Mind you, remember a few weeks ago we were thinking, boy, there's no way the Patriots. I mean, they did coach team soft. So you guys aren't. I'm like, wow, that's a formula to quit. But last week they only allowed 73. I know it's the Bears, I get it, but only 73 yards on the ground, and you've got DeAndre Swift back there. So that stopped their being a civ against the ground game. I just think that's a mirage. And plus, the Rams right now, they're starting to look like, okay, Kupp, we got Nakua, we got Kyron Williams, we've got these big play players. I think they're going to want to reestablish the run. I think they do it successfully, and I think the Rams it'll be a closer game it'll be a close game, but I think they get the win in that one.
One thought every game. Cleveland is going to New Orleans. The Saints win at home against the Browns this week. They win against the Falcons last week, who have had all sorts of problems down in New Orleans. Can the Saints make it 2 in a row?
The Saints look like that they really didn't like their coach. I mean, you play as badly as you do for him, and then when he leaves, you start to step up and play a lot better. Maybe they didn't like him. Maybe they just thought this guy is not good for the job, whatever it is. That's a big plus for them. Thing is, though, is that the Saints' run defense they give 181 yards to the Falcons. They've given up, they gave 277 rush yards to the Bucs a few weeks ago. I mean, they can give up a lot of plays on the ground. I think Nick Chubb is finally going to be able to get things moving, and I think the Browns are going to want to get him moving for the same reason I was talking about Darnold. I think they saw Jameis Winston and said, oh, yeah, that's right. He threw 30 picks in the year. I think they run the ball 30-plus times, and I think the Saints will be able to slow him down and take it to the Browns.
All right, one thought every game. The Colts are going back to Anthony Richardson. I think the Jets wish they could start Anthony Richardson. They still have Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, He possibly Joe Flacco. Hey, we'll trade you for Joe Flacco if we could. It's Rodgers took a step back before the season. If you looked in NFL history at the number of, if I've got to remember this correctly, I think it's 41 or 40, wherever he is, Rodgers 41, age 40 or 42, whatever season he's in. There have been only 2 quarterbacks in NFL history at that age who threw 500 passes a season. One was Tom Brady, and he's obviously Tom Brady, and the other was Warren Moon, and Warren Moon did it once. Nobody else had ever done it. So it's like, guys, to expect that the quarterback's going to play that well or be able to throw that many passes, it doesn't happen very often. I know Rodgers is really good, but Tom Brady is about the only guy who did really well in that. And I think the Jets' offense has regressed because of that. And their defense has regressed too. And having said that, I'll probably still take him because I just don't trust Anthony Richardson enough.
One thought every game. Here's a good one. Baltimore, Pittsburgh. 2 teams that have beat Washington, by the way. Now they match up. This is a big one in the AFC North. The AFC North. Pittsburgh's defense against Baltimore's offense.
Yeah, and the thing is you look at that matchup and go, okay, Pittsburgh defense versus Baltimore's offense, and Pittsburgh's defense has been really good in a lot of advanced metrics. And they've, again, they gave up 27 last week against Washington, but they've been solid all year long. Only 3 times they've allowed 100 or more rushing yards. They get turnovers. They get after the quarterback. They do a lot of things well. And the thing is, Baltimore's offense is still going to. Now look at Pittsburgh's offense and go, Pittsburgh's offense is they're 5th in the league in offensive points scored per game over the past. They're really good. They're one of the top offenses in the league. And I look at the Baltimore defense and go, oh, yeah, the Baltimore defense is really not that good. I mean, look what happened against Cincinnati. Look what happened against Cleveland a few weeks ago. And look at that. 31 to Tampa, 29 to Cleveland, 34 to Cincinnati, 38 to Cincinnati. They've only allowed fewer than 20 points twice. I think the Steelers' offense is going to hit more big plays. I think the Steelers win.
One thought, every game, can Atlanta bounce back? Denver needs to bounce back. That Denver team hung in there. They get a field goal blocked by Kansas City on the final play to drop that one there. But they go back home now. Atlanta's got to go on the road for the 2nd week in a row.
Yeah, and if you're Denver, that's the kind of Sean Payton, we're going to find out how good of a coach he still is. A great coach and all that, and has done very well. But that's the kind of loss that can deflate your team. You can really start to lose confidence in yourself because you had that game won and you just couldn't kick a field goal. That's scary. But having said that, I think he's the sort of coach still. I think he's got enough. He's still a kind of coach who can get that turned around. Denver's a tough place to play. Really tough defense. Bo Nix, by the way. I've been telling fantasy managers this whole week. He's available like almost 40% of fantasy leagues. If he's available in your fantasy league, get him. He's top 5 fantasy quarterback. He's arguably an upper half of the league quarterback overall over the past probably last month and a half, and he might even be a top 10 quarterback, like borderline. If you've been put at 12, I wouldn't have any problem with that. He's playing that well, and you've got Denver playing at home, and again the Atlanta playing in so and not playing up to their talent level. I'll take the Broncos.
Me checking my fantasy league to see if Nix is available because I have C.J. Stroud, who's been killing me.
Huge upgrade. Do it, man.
Not available. Not available.
Oh, man.
One thought, every game, Seattle going to San Francisco. Looks like the Niners, they went down, struggled in Tampa Bay, but found a way to win that game. They get to come home. This would be their 3rd straight win.
And look, McCaffrey didn't play so well last week. He played that guy was coming off injury rust. He did well in the passing game, didn't do very well in the running game. But again, you got to have a game to shake that rust off. They got Debo, and he's playing well. And they've got McCaffrey. They got Kittle's been playing well. They got Juwan Jennings is playing really well. They've got Pierce stepping up as the 5th target in that offense. Look at that. Okay, that's really, really good. And the Seattle defense, they have some of the worst metrics across the running and passing. San Francisco will be able to do whatever it wants to on offense. And as good as Seattle offense has been at times, I don't trust them to keep up in the shootout. I'm taking the Niners.
All right, one thought, every game, Niners, if they win, they're creeping back in that race in the AFC, in the NFC West. By the way, Arizona has a bye this week. 4 teams have a bye. 3 of them stink. Well, I guess Tampa Bay, it's not fair to say they stink. They're just banged up. But the Giants and Carolina, we don't have to watch them this week. Tampa and Arizona. Let's go to the big game of the week. Kansas City and Buffalo. Buffalo a little banged up. They're going to lose one of their big wideout targets there. But the game's in Buffalo. Kansas City keeps squeaking by. Do they find a way to squeak by again?
This is probably Josh Allen's best season. I mean, he threw a couple picks last week. He's going to make sure he doesn't do that this week. But this is not a great offense talent-wise compared to what they had before. This really isn't. And again, they might not have Kincaid, and Knox is a good, solid backup. He's not as good as Kincaid, but okay, that's good. They put up 30 or more points in 4 straight games. And against the Titans, who have a solid defense, the Dolphins, who we just showed last week, are a pretty good defense. The Colts don't have a terrible defense. I mean, they're not putting up against great defenses, but they're putting up against good defenses. They're on a roll. And the Chiefs, I thought, hey, boy, they turned the corner when they got DeAndre Hopkins. Look how great he looked on Monday night. And it's like, yeah, it was the Bucs. That's why they looked as good as they do. I don't think the Chiefs' offense is anywhere near as productive as it was. The Chiefs have to go on centric attack, and that's not a good place to. Well, you can do that some against the Bills, but the Bills are pretty good there, and the Bills also get a lot of takeaways. And Mahomes has thrown a lot of picks this year, so I'm looking at going, you know what? I get this. It's a tough game for Buffalo to win. Finding a way to win, but if you're a team that keeps finding a way to win just by the skin of your teeth, you get a team like Buffalo who's playing above their talent level and can keep up with you talent-wise, I'll take the Bills.
One thought every game, this game got moved to Sunday Night Football, and kind of fun. Cincinnati's offense, LA Chargers defense is stellar. So you got 2 different type of teams here, both in the wild card mix.
Yeah, the Chargers have been – now they've got – the Chargers finally are probably what Jim Harbaugh expected to have all season long. Now you get Dobbins and Edwards. Edwards not a great back by stretch. We got 5.5 yards per carry last week. He had 10 carries a week, 55. So you've got it. Now you get a 2 at a backfield. You've got a healthy Herbert who can throw the ball, and he's got some decent targets. He needs to get better targets in the offseason, but he got some decent targets, and you're able to hit some big plays. And Johnson's stepping up, Akaki's doing pretty well. So if you're the Chargers, okay, you're about where we're hoping we'd be, and their defense has been superb this year. But if you're the Bengals have shown they have one route to win pretty much. They got to win in shootout. That's basically it. Unless they faced the Giants and the Browns, and they won low-scoring games there. But otherwise, pretty much everything else has been we've got to go the shootout route. I don't think if they go the shootout route, they're going to get enough points against the Chargers, and their defense is so bad the Chargers will get the points. So I'll take the Chargers in this one.
One thought every game. Talking about so bad, we have to watch Dallas on Monday Night Football. Houston going to Dallas. Can I get some fantasy points from C.J. Stroud this week against this Dallas defense?
If you're going to get 80 points against, that's the team to do it against. I think who would hit his upside, I'd say 15 if it was what it is. It's a high floor performance. Maybe he does better if he gets like a rushing touchdown or something, because the Dallas defense is just, they're abysmal. They're pitiful. I mean, they're bad in everywhere. They make mistakes. They're out of position. They're not aggressive. And this is just a really bad. And they get last week, the Eagles, one of probably the best defense in the league, or one of at least the Cowboys giveaways. You just can't do that now. The Texans have some problems of their own, but they got 5 takeaways last week. I mean, Goff, it's not just Goff who does that. It's the Texans defense who does it. So I like the Texans. The Texans, if they play this game earlier this year, probably win this game by 2 touchdowns. I still think they win by 1.
Casey Joyner has one thought on every game here on the Sports Bash. We'll do it again on Tuesday. We'll look back at all of the games. But before we go, one thought on the game tonight. Who wins and why?
I think it's going to be, you look at a lot of different things. You got the Eagles defense playing better than the Washington defense. You got Hurts is better than Daniels. You've got Barkley is better than Robinson. You've got the receivers are better than Washington's. It just look talent-wise. Washington's done a fantastic job this year with the talent that they have. But frankly, this is a team that out-talents them and is playing exceptionally well in most areas. And as good as Washington was earlier this year, Washington's not been playing as well as they were earlier this year. So you merge those factors, I'm taking the Eagles by maybe a touchdown.
He likes the Eagles by maybe a touchdown. They are favored by 3.5, 4, wherever your book is. But Casey Joyner, as always, here on the Sports Bash with one thought on every game. He'll be back on Tuesday. We'll do it again. Thanks, bud.
Appreciate it, Mike.
All right, Casey Joyner, everybody, here on the Sports Bash. Always appreciate him and his insight. And he's brought to you by Elite Acura of Mount Laurel, Maple Shade, online, eliteacura.com. Visit them on Route 73 in Maple Shade. When we come back, we're going to Lincoln Financial Field. Sal Palantonio set to join us with the latest updates on the Birds. Not a who's in, who's out, because everybody's in. They're healthy. So we'll get Sal Pal's take. They're going to run the ball down the Commanders' throats tonight. What's the biggest storyline that he is reporting on for SportsCenter tonight? We'll have that next right here. You got Sal Pal on the Sports Bash on 97.3 ESPN.
Wake up weekday mornings from 6 to 10 a.m. with Unsportsmanlike on 97.3 ESPN with Evan Cohen, Super Bowl champion Chris Canty, and Michelle Small. Can't wake up without it. Brought to you by the Gallery Bar Book and Games at Ocean Casino Resort in Atlantic City.
Go to get your game on at the Gallery Bar Book and Games at Ocean Casino Resort. Cheers your favorite drinks while cheering on your favorite team. Get in on the parlay while in the middle of a party. Go for the sports scene and go for the endless screams. Go to the gallery. Go to the Fanatic Sportsbook. Go for the win at Ocean Casino Resort. For more information, visit theoceanac.com. Must be 21 or older to wager or consume alcohol. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The holidays are here at the Home Depot, so let's get to decorating. Find your perfect tree in our huge assortment of shapes, sizes, and styles. Like the easy-to-assemble Jackson Noble fir, with pre-lit branches perfect for styling with all your favorite ornaments. Or the Flock Starry Light Fraser fir, with over 1,900 pre-lit memory wire branches that keep their shape so it's ready right out of the box. Ooh. Find the perfect tree now at the Home Depot.
Hey, if you have ugly yellow toe fungus, you got to hear about the secret 2-minute trick that I found for my husband. It works from both the inside and the outside. Thousands of people are using it to get rid of their toe fungus. You can check it out at crystalflesh.com. Jake started off with a small spot on his big toe and then it spread and got really bad. His toes were nasty. It was so embarrassing. He was afraid to take his socks off. He hid his yellow and crumbly toes from everyone. He tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing helped. And then we found crystalflesh.com. It was the only thing that worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalflesh.com. They'll even let you try it risk-free so you have nothing to lose. But whatever you do, don't let it get worse. You don't have to live with this anymore. Go check it out now. Just click over to crystalflesh.com.
In business, service is everything. Cintas delivers what you need to better serve your customers. Whether it's freshly laundered work apparel for almost any job imaginable, tested and inspected fire protection systems, first aid and safety supplies, on-site AED training, or mops and restroom products, stocked and ready when you need them. Better workdays happen together. So visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
What if you could hear your favorite song for the first time again? Introducing the all-new, reimagined Nissan Kicks. With an available Bose Personal Plus sound system that uses speakers in the headrest to create a 360-degree listening experience. You've never heard anything like this. Reimagine your music and your drive. Experience the all-new, reimagined Nissan Kicks for yourself at nissanusa.com today.
Available feature. Bose is a registered trademark of the Bose Corporation.
This is the Town Square, New Jersey Info and Weather Network.
Progressive Insurance presents the Sports Flash on 97.3 ESPN. An NFC East divisional matchup tonight. Thursday night football as Philadelphia hosts the Washington Commanders. Eagles on top of the division at 7-2, winners of 5 straight games. Washington a half game back at 7-3. Jalen Hurts a touchdown pass and a touchdown run in 4 straight games. Philadelphia number 2 in the NFL in rushing, led by Saquon Barkley, while the Commanders are 28th defensively against the run. The Sixers are in Orlando on Friday night as they begin a 3-game road trip facing the Magic. It includes stops in Miami and Memphis. Wednesday night, the Sixers fell to the unbeaten Cleveland Cavaliers 114-106. They dropped to 2-9 on the season. Jared McCain scoring 34 points. Philadelphia without Joel Embiid and Paul George Wednesday night as they sat out the second of back-to-back games. The Flyers are in Ottawa tonight to take on the Senators. Philadelphia has at least 1 point in their last 3 games, coming off a shootout win Monday against the San Jose Sharks. I'm Tony Desiri, and that's your Sports Flash on 97.3 ESPN.
You're a winner when you play Borgata's Winning Wonderland. Now through December 28th, earn entries for your stake in over $1 million in prizes, including 2 2025 Range Rovers. Visit theborgata.com. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
From the Town Square, New Jersey Info and Weather Network, I'm Chief Meteorologist Dan Zero. So close and yet so far, we'll see lingering clouds and maybe a sprinkle from a passing storm system tonight. But that said, in terms of rain potential right through the upcoming weekend, it'll be chilly overnight. Low temperature dips to 37. Tomorrow, clouds to sun, turning breezy and a bit warmer, high 59. Saturday, sunny, breezy, high fire danger, but fairly mild, high jumps to 62. Get weather 24/7 wherever you are. Download our free mobile app today.
Here is an important safety message from the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety.
I'm New Jersey Attorney General Matt Platkin. Last year, there were 133 alcohol-impaired driving fatalities in New Jersey. That's 133 lives lost, 133 shattered families. Choose responsibility over recklessness. Don't drive impaired.
You're listening to the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
Never thought this radio stunt would catch on so big.
On 97.3 ESPN.
They want to try to keep Jaden Daniels and that Cliff Kingsbury offense off the field. And the way to do that is to control the clock, get good field position, stay ahead of the sticks, all that stuff that makes you a consistent offense. And I think that they can do that in this game. The second reason would be you're on a short week. So when you don't get the reps in practice, you really have to go back to what your bread and butter is, what your foundation is, and that's the run game.
That was Sal Palantonio earlier today, breaking it down. We're trying to catch up with Sal. He is up at Lincoln Financial Field. Once we get him, we'll get his thoughts on the game tonight, his keys to the game. That's coming up here on the Sports Bash. We are live at Chickies and Pete's. And, of course, we're here every Thursday. You can check out the Sports Bash live on location at Chickies and Pete's. We're in EHT. Book your holiday party at Chickies and Pete's for November or January and get a party upgrade visit. chickiesandpete's.com. We got the Eagles tonight on 97.3 ESPN. Flyers fans, if you're looking for the Flyers game tonight, that will be on our sister station, Rock 104.1 and the Rock 104.1 free mobile app. You know, we've heard so many breakdowns in this game, obviously, but the one that keeps kind of standing out, you just heard what Sal Pal said about containing, running the ball, moving the sticks. You know, if Philadelphia can come out early, now they don't take the ball, right? They'll win the toss and defer, or so you're most likely Philadelphia doesn't end up with the ball first unless Washington wins the toss here. But if the Eagles can get that first drive and really just control this game right from the get-go, they can start to set the tone and let Washington know right off the bat, hey, we're going to run the ball at you all night long, and it's going to be a long day at the office. It goes back to what Landon Dickerson said in that video before the Dallas game. You know, hey, let's run the ball at this team, demoralize them, and make them say, oh, my God, we have to play this team again. You know, if you go after Washington on the first drive of the game, and then, conversely, you can get the stop. That's the big thing. You know, I think the Eagles' defense, as Casey talked about in our conversation for One Thought Every Game, you know, right now, the metrics say, whatever defensive metrics you like, this Eagles' defense, whether you like it or not, is one of the better defenses in the league. I feel like we don't trust that they're one of the better defenses in the league. Are we having a hard time acknowledging them as this very good, I don't want to say elite defense because I don't think they're an elite defense. I don't think they have an elite defensive player. They're getting there with a guy like Mitchell, Cooper DeJean. I don't know if they're elite, but they're very good for rookies. It's hard to say they're elite players as rookies, and I just don't think they have an elite player on that defense. Maybe Jalen Carter can get there. He has 3 sacks. He had 6.5 last year, so he's not even quite on that pace or right around that pace. But are we having a hard time acknowledging how good the Eagles defense, or will tonight's game help you with that?
I think that's the measuring stick, right? Because this Eagles defense isn't really battle tested. I mean, like John McMullen said earlier, the test that they passed with flying colors was Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. But other than that,
which offense is better to you, Washington or Cincinnati?
Cincinnati, I would say.
And they passed that with flying colors,
They
right?
did, yes.
17 points against Cincinnati.
But other than, I mean, going back to week 2, they blew the game against Atlanta. I still go back to that game, and that defense just let them go down the field in 4 plays, and that was the game.
It was and keep
so
in
that
mind,
was disappointing to me. But there was no Cooper DeJean in
I
that
was
game.
Say, correct me if I'm wrong. Cooper DeJean did not play in that game.
He was still out.
He was still out. I think
correct.
he has really changed a lot for this defense.
Yeah.
You know, and then everybody just as the weeks have gone on how much more familiar they are with the terminology and their role and what they're supposed to do in this defense all the way across the board. Zach Bond, Nakobe Dean. Give Nakobe Dean some credit, too, by the way. He has stayed healthy. He's been able to kind of hold up here, and that was a big question mark because, look, these two linebackers, remember, they had Devin White on this team at a point, and they ended up feeling confident enough to release him and go with these two linebackers who have really done a good job and played well in this situation. The other thing, too, is with this defense, I think Reed Blankenship has done a really good job. He doesn't get a lot of credit sometimes, but I think he's done a nice job tackling. That's the biggest thing. One of the biggest things for me is the Philadelphia Eagles do something that a lot of teams just simply don't do. And they didn't do in that game you talked about, Pete. They didn't tackle. The game against Atlanta, they didn't tackle. You got Levante Maddox out there missing tackles left and right. You had some missed tackles. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson's not a great tackler. He hasn't hurt you as a tackler in this little stretch here. I mean, he's had, you miss tackles. It happens. But it hasn't been an epidemic for this team, right?
No. And I think it's a lot of the same guys on that defensive unit, guys that are kind of been overlooked in their career, undrafted guys. Zach Bond, he's on a one-year prove-it deal. So it's a lot of the same guys with chips on their shoulder, and they're kind of playing like it.
They're playing like it, and, tonight's one of those games where everybody has said it that we've talked to. Ross Tucker was on last night, and he said, Philadelphia's better. They just have more talent than Washington. I think we all acknowledge that. And the line right now, I think it's up to 4. I'll double-check on that real quick as we're taking a look at, let's see, where's that line right now? The line is 4. It's up to 4 right now.
It opened at 3, so it's climbed a whole point.
Yeah, it's like 3.5, 3, depending on what sportsbook is your favorite there. It's 4 right now at the DraftKings Sportsbook. We're at the Tropicana right now, so we can kind of see over to there. The fact that the line now went up to 4, but the line started out. Vegas was saying that these two teams are kind of equal. You're getting the home team 3-point kind of hat tip there. I think Philadelphia is saying we're not equal with this team. You know what I mean? Like, does that feel like a disrespecting number?
I will let you know, Mike, that all but one sports book has it at 4 right now for the Eagles.
So it's been bet up to 4, though.
Correct. Yes, I'm getting the exact number right now, but I know that so it's 57% of the public money is going Eagles on the spread.
Right. So I think a lot of the bettors were saying, okay, we're betting this number up. So the money came in and bet the Eagles up. But if I'm the Eagles and I know the line is 3, do I feel like that's a disrespecting line?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
No?
No.
It says, doesn't it say that that this Washington team is equal to you?
I mean, they're 7-3. Eagles are 7-2.
They're tied for the second most points scored in the NFL as Washington.
It's a game for first place, so I think it's right where it should be.
If I'm Philadelphia, and I'm looking at my roster, and I'm looking at their roster, and I'm saying I'm at home, I better beat this team by more than 3. That's all. I think the Eagles roster is more than 3 points better than Washington. Now, again, that doesn't mean they're going to win the game or, Washington could cover. But Washington, to me, is clearly less talented than Philadelphia. Is there a spot on the field? Ross Tucker said this the other day. Is there a guy on Washington that starts on the Eagles?
The only position maybe is, would Bobby Wagner start over one of the linebackers here?
It's possible. He definitely has a better track record than the 2 Eagle linebackers. Is he playing better than them this year?
To me, I would think that he might right now be equal with Nakobe Dean. So it's kind of a coin flip to me.
Not one of their offensive linemen starting.
100% no. Not one of their wide receivers. Not their running back.
McLaurin would play, obviously, but he's not better than A.J. Brown. Do you like McLaurin better or Smith?
Smith is the better route runner.
They're kind of equal to me, I think.
Terry is more of like a big play receiver, whereas Smith can do more, I think.
I like Smith. He's smooth. I think his numbers get suppressed a little bit because he plays with Brown. I think that helps McLaurin's numbers because he's the one guy in that thing. I like Smith better than McLaurin. Yeah, but McLaurin would play here. Somebody would be the slot guy or blah, 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 whatever. But he's Brian Robinson's a good player. He's not better than Saquon Barkley.
No.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, offensively, they have one guy that would probably play. That would be McLaurin. Their offensive line would not play. I mean, Ertz, yes, he could play in this team, but he obviously got traded for a reason because they went with Dallas Goedert. On the defensive side of the ball, I don't know that they have one guy that there's not one guy on the defensive. Deron Payne's a nice player.
Yeah, but he's not starting over Carter or Williams or Davis or any of those guys, is he?
He'd be in the rotation.
Right, he'd be in the rotation, he'd be in the conversation, but he's not starting over any of that.
Right, and then that's my point. I talk about, if I'm the Eagles, I feel like I feel like this line should have been like 5.5 or 6, maybe.
I mean, maybe that's the motivation then. Maybe that's part of the thing, the trigger for these guys, right? Is, hey, no one likes us, right? No one respects us. Let's go out there and prove them wrong.
Absolutely, and that's what I'm talking about. If you're the Eagles, you feel a little disrespected by this line, or you guys seem to think, no, Washington is right there with them. I don't know. And by the way, as we kind of get ready to get to the end of the show tonight, we got about 20 minutes left till we get out of here at Chickies and Pete's. But I got to tell you, talking to all the particulars this week, Ross Tucker yesterday, Casey Jr. today, of course, McMullen all week, DeCecco, the Football at 4 guys, and everything that we do to get you guys ready for the game. The one thing that stands out to me is that how deep Philadelphia's roster is. The audio that we had in the first hour from Dan Orlovsky basically saying they are better at every position on the field and that this is the best team that Washington is going to play.
This is probably the top to bottom most complete team that Washington has faced this year. This is the real kind of like measuring stick. We saw them versus Pittsburgh last week. They played well, had the chance to win the game. Philadelphia is a better offense than Pittsburgh. Philadelphia is probably equally, if not better, on defense as well with how good. And you know what's going to be awesome tonight? McLaurin versus Quinyon Mitchell. Because McLaurin is going to line up on the left side the whole game. The whole time. It's going to be a phenomenal matchup.
Phenomenal matchup, all the stuff. But Philadelphia, he said, and that was kind of the discussion point way back at the beginning of the show. He said Philadelphia is better than Pittsburgh defensively, better than Baltimore as a team. And that's what Washington's up against in this game. Washington lost to Pittsburgh, lost to Baltimore, and that doesn't mean they're going to automatically lose to Philly. It goes back to what we said before. Guy said, I can't see a way Philadelphia wins the game. That was a text message in the first hour. I'm having a hard time finding a way Washington wins the game outside of, look, Jaden Daniels plays an excellent game. The Eagles are a little sloppy. It happened a couple of years ago. What did Ross Tucker say? They play a little keep away. They're able to run the ball, keep the sticks moving, all that stuff. Philadelphia has to show up and play, but they're the more talented team here. And if they play defense the way they've been playing defense the last couple of weeks, against a rookie quarterback, against an offensive line that just is average, this should be a game that their defense keeps them in check. I find it a little similar to the Cincinnati game from a couple of weeks ago.
Mike, is that part of the consternation then with the fans? The fans are saying, we know this team is more talented. We know they're better. We expect more of them.
Yeah, by the way, Sal Powell just messaged me, says call him now. So he was just on SportsCenter, and that's why he was a little bit late. He just gave me a message and said call him now, Josh. So go ahead and do that.
Well, that's a good reason. He's on SportsCenter.
Well, he's probably taping something for the 6 o'clock SportsCenter, but we'll have a couple of minutes with him before we get out of here tonight. Yes. Yeah, I mean, I look at this game and feel like a Cincinnati situation where Cincinnati's got the quarterback. They got the receiver in Jamar Chase, and I think the quarterback and the receiver there are better, right?
Right.
So I would say –
and that game was 37-17.
37-17, correct. Or was it 34-17?
37.
I look at it similar to that game. Cincinnati's offensive line, not very good. I think the Washington line's better. And the quarterback, I like Burrow better. And Chase I like better. I probably like the Washington run game better.
To me, it's just about Jaden Daniels. Don't let him go crazy. I mean, don't let him go for 30, 40, 50-yard runs. Keep him contained and keep him from playing from behind, and I think you should be okay.
That would be the
that's the recipe for me.
Yeah, the recipe, I think, is get on them early. Get on them early. Make this a whole, hey, we're up against Philadelphia. We're on the road. This is for first place. We're not supposed to be here. Don't let them believe that they're supposed to be in a game like this. That, to me, is the biggest thing. Don't let the Commanders think. We talked about this the other day. When you apply for a job that they say, well, you don't have any experience. Well, how do I get experience without getting the job first? And the Eagles, it's their job to say, well, you're not getting your experience at our place. Go get your experience someplace else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think going forward, I think it's going to be a Washington-Philadelphia NFC East for the next several years. I don't think you have to worry about Dallas, and I don't think you have to worry about the Giants. I think Jaden Daniels is here to stay. If that's what.
Well, that was the conversation. We opened the show with, or the 3:00 hour, with Adam Schefter, where he said, "This is a big game for Washington and Philadelphia because if Washington wins tonight and has a chance to win the division, this could be the first of many for them. Like this could be them basically saying, hey, like I said, we need experience. We just got it on your field."
If they could win tonight, they would move into first place now. Having won in Philadelphia, it would make a statement not only for tonight, not only for this season, but I think for seasons to come, that we have a quarterback that's ready to dominate in the NFC East, where the Giants are struggling to figure out who's playing quarterback, where the Cowboys have a quarterback, he's out for the year, where the Eagles have Jalen Hurts. But if you win on their home turf, send them a message in front of their fans, that to me is a huge statement.
It makes you ready for the game tonight, doesn't it? And I like the text message that Phil just sent in on the text board, 609-403-0973. Apparently, Sal has some bad cell phone connection. There's a lot of cell phones up there at Lincoln Financial Field because I got a couple messages from him saying to call me, bad reception, call me back. So we'll try one more time. We'll take a quick timeout. If we can sneak in a thought or two from him before we get out of here tonight. Plus, I have my Bet365 play of the game balls, and all that. Coming up next, live from Chickies and Pete's at the Tropicana, the official sports bar of the Philadelphia Eagles.
It's Sixers basketball tomorrow night on 97.3 ESPN with the voice of the Sixers, Tom McGinnis, calling all the exciting play-by-play action.
Jared McCain's going to have to do it himself. Into the lane, right-hand layup, up and good! He took it right down the lane!
It's Sixers Magic tomorrow night. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. It's Sixers basketball all season long on South Jersey's radio home for Philadelphia 76ers basketball. 97.3 ESPN.
Oh, yeah, it's on at Matt Black Nissan.
If you're currently stuck in a loan or lease, AJ the Trade Man can get you released. Matt Black Nissan.com. It's on at Matt Black Nissan on the Black Horse Pike. Egg Harbor Township.
Hi, it's Pete from Chickie and Pete's, the official sports bar of your Philadelphia Eagles, celebrating football season with special new menu items. The Kelsey Combo, created by number 62 himself, a handcrafted barbecue burger, world-famous crab fries, and an ice-cold garage beer. Our incredible jumbo soft pretzel, Chickie style, with a heaping skillet of our own in-house crab dip, and our delectable sweet heat wings, where a portion of the proceeds go to the A.J. Brown Foundation. Participating locations for a limited time. Chickies and Pete's. Hi, it's Pete from Chickie and Pete's, the official sports bar of your Philadelphia Eagles. Our new menu includes our boneless wing special every Monday. Buy a single order of our mouth-watering boneless wings and get a snack order of boneless wings free. Every Tuesday and Wednesday, it's buy one, get one free snows. Buy any number of delectable snow crab legs and get the same amount free. Plus the Kelsey Combo, tasty buffalo fried shrimp, seafood pasta in our famous Sicilian or red sauce. Participating locations for a limited time. Chickies and Pete's.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. Keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
It's a new era of orange in Philadelphia, and you don't want to miss the Philadelphia Flyers hit the ice at Wells Fargo Center this season. Get your tickets now only at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com. Catch Philadelphia Flyers hockey this season. Tickets at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com.
In business, service is everything. Cintas delivers what you need to better serve your customers. Whether it's freshly laundered work apparel for almost any job imaginable, tested and inspected fire protection systems, first aid and safety supplies, on-site AED training, or mops and restroom products stocked and ready when you need them. Better workdays happen together. So visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
It's hurricane season. Are you prepared? Don't get left in the dark. Calvi Electric, a certified Generac dealer, has you covered. From installation to maintenance, they're your go-to experts for Generac generators, ensuring your home stays powered through any storm. A Generac home standby generator will automatically restore power to your home during an outage, so your life goes on uninterrupted. Put your trust in Calvi Electric, the premier electrical contractor serving South Jersey for over 115 years. Visit calvielectric.com today or call 609-345-0151.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now, during our Black Friday sale, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed, plus special financing. Limited time. Find a store near you. Visit sleepnumber.com.
New Jersey might be small, but there's a lot of wow packed into this little state. Cork-popping wows, time-to-dine wows, Pine Barren wows. Find your wow at visitnj.org. New Jersey, little state, lot of wow.
It's the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
Do I have everybody's attention now?
On 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
All right, get ready to get out of here. It's time for the Bet365 play of the day. What did we do last night?
To be perfectly honest with you, I have to go grab that paper. Hold on.
Well, I'm sure it was a winner. I'm sure you gave us some winners.
I don't even remember what I played. I played a couple of
Did you play Wemby over points? Or Giannis over points?
I went
Those guys had 250 burgers last night.
Yeah, it was a big night for the NBA guys, but I played a couple NBA games last night.
LeBron, another triple-double.
LeBron, 40. You know what got me, by the way, before I get my pick? Karl Anthony Towns played on a back-to-back last night, scored 46.
Yep. And Embiid and PG sat out.
Yep. So they could Karl Anthony Towns is okay to play on the back-to-back and score 46, but our two guys, nah.
All right, so you went 2-0 last night, Mike. Both the Celtics and Rockets covered.
What do you think?
There you go, man. 2-0.
What's the up-to-date record?
Stacking pennies, man.
64 and 39.
Gotcha.
Stacking dubs.
All right. Let's go tonight with the Dallas Mavericks tonight in the NBA.
On the spread?
Going to go Eagles over. I'm going to follow.
Team total or game total?
Game total over.
That's like 49, I think, 49 and a half.
I'm going to follow Nadu on that one. And there you go. Give me Boston tonight as well. Celtics.
Is it bad I was going to ask Bruins or Celtics?
Yeah.
Well, he's not giving you any hockey picks. You got to know better than that. He's not giving you any hockey picks.
All right. By the way, so I'm going to try to get Sal Pal on tomorrow. Having a little connection problems at Lincoln Financial Field. Let's go Eagles and game balls. I got Eagles tonight. I said similar to the Cincinnati game. I'm going to go like 35-24 Eagles. 35-24 Eagles. Saquon Barkley game ball on the offensive side of the ball. Defense tonight, I'm going to go with a little Quinyon Mitchell. I think Mitchell has the big game against McLaurin, maybe even a little interception in the game tonight, finally. Someone's getting a pick tonight, going 3 sacks in the game, Eagles.
You know what? I'm hoping for BG. I want Brandon Graham to maybe show out a little bit against this rookie. I'm looking for a big game out of BG tonight.
Just fun that you got a Washington-Philly game on Thursday night. That means something. All right, that's what we got for you tonight. Eagles 34, Commanders 35-24. Eagles. We'll be back again tomorrow on the Sports Bash. Hey, before I get out of here tonight, got to get one more qualifier for 99 Growlers. 609-403, 609-573-3776, 609-573-3776. Caller number 7, you're in. Caller 7, 609-573-3776. This year's 99 Growlers party, it's at Mudhead Brewing Company in Wildwood, Rio Grande Avenue in Wildwood on Wednesday, November 27th. We got all sorts of tickets. I'll have a pair of tickets to see the Eagles and Steelers at Lincoln Financial Field. Those are club box seats, by the way. I got Sixers tickets. I got Flyers tickets. I got concert tickets. I got tickets to shows from all over the area. If you're caller 7 right now, you have a shot to be at 99 Growlers at Mudhead Brewing Company in Wildwood on November 27th. We're going to be busy that week. Monday, we're going to be out. Tuesday, we're going to be out. Wednesday, we're going to be out. And I'm out now.
This is South Jersey's official home for Philadelphia Eagles football. The Eagles